Good morning, everyone. Oddly enough, I've had my coffee sitting here, but I have not taken a sip of it yet. Anybody else just like in love with their coffee? Because I kind of am. Anyway, good morning, everyone. How are you? Let's see, Linda, good morning. Small victories. I love it. Yeah, that one is great, especially for like traveling in the size. And like I said, I think in the future, she might do another small book, but yes, that one is wonderful. Leanne, good morning. Let's see, Kara, good morning. All right, well, we finished our page yesterday, and if you were watching back and you missed it, this was our finished page. Love it, love it. And share at 2:30 in the afternoon. Nice. Let's see. Let's make sure I'm not. Yeah, okay, we're good. Sorry, sometimes I read and then read other things. Anyway, but this was the page we finished yesterday, and it was voted that we were going to do one of the little dragons, and that we are going to do, well, we didn't vote for the gouache. I want to do the gouache, and then we can do more pencils. So what we're going to go ahead and do, I've got a little bit of indent here from the previous, not indent, but you know, ink transfer. But the nice thing is when you have like a little bit of that ink that transfers to the other page, we can just take a little eraser and poof, it's gone. So color palette for the dragon. Now the question is, do we want to keep the color palette cohesive for all the dragon? And I did, you know, kind of a pink and green. My initial thought was we could do like a Halloween dragon and do it orange. But I'm kind of thinking, of course, I don't know, she's got apples. It would still be kind of cute. Oh, but look, she's got like a leaf for her tail. Well, I guess they all kind of have leaves for their tails. We could do a purple dragon. Purple would be nice. Hi, Alex. Hi, Anna. Good morning. Yeah, let's do like a purpley orange one. We could do like orange for some of the, yeah, we're going to do that. So for our palette today, so sometimes people ask me what I do with my leftover pencil cases after I move them to their fabric cases, and it's this. So here we have this perfect little shape. This held drawing pencils. We have a perfect little shape, and one of the reasons I wanted to do this one as our palette today is because if we don't finish it today, we're going to work on it tomorrow. And the nice thing about that, it closes, which means the paint isn't going to fully dry. I mean, it's gouache, so it's still going to dry out, but it won't dry out as hard as it would if we just left it in an open palette. So that is what I'm using today, just a leftover pencil tin, but it's perfect for palettes. I've got these lurking all over the place. So, so that is what we're gonna use. And as far as the paint that we're gonna use today, we are gonna use some of our permanent white Winsor & Newton designer for our highlights if we need them. But primarily we're gonna be using, hi Kim. Kim, I bet you had so much fun on your trip. Oh, that sounded like so much fun. Seriously, was there in spirit. We are going to be using the Arteza gouache today. One, because they have a ton of colors and we're going to have to mix a lot less. But also, two, I like to save the designer gouache for when I do like full paintings I'm going to sell. So for fun projects that are just for me, I like to revert back to the Arteza gouache. I also have, I believe in the description, I also put the link to the student grade Winsor & Newton. This could work too. So really any of the gouaches that you feel comfortable with using. Other tools that we're going to be using today, we obviously have our brushes, and when I'm doing something small, Paris tomorrow and home on Tuesday. Oh my gosh, Kim, you guys are taking lots of pictures, right? Because that sounds like amazing. When I do something in Johanna's books, I tend to deep fill to smaller brushes. I mean, let's be honest, I use smaller brushes a lot. So I have kind of a wide range of brushes here. Generally for gouache, you can use like any kind of watercolor brushes, and it's just fine. Luna Maria Troll, oh, I love that, Kim. Any watercolor brushes is fine. There aren't specifically gouache brushes, so yeah, a watercolor brush will be just fine. So these two are an Arteza brand paintbrush, which are just fine. My favorites are going to be these blue ones here. They are the Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolor brushes. So for the two Arteza ones, this one is a number 8 round. Here, I can zoom in so you guys can see. This one is a number 8 round. So this one here, okay. This one is the music too loud or are we good? Let me know. This one is a number 2 angle brush. I like to throw in a few of these in case, you know, the situation calls for it. Most of the time I use the smaller round brushes. Ooh, Twilight Gardener, World of Flowers. I love that, Alex. Alex, how did your pages hold together in World of Flowers? I'm curious if everybody had that same issue. For the Winsor & Newton brushes, these are probably some of my favorites. So these are the Winsor & Newton Cotman. We have a number 4 round, a number 1 round, a 10, it says 10/3/8 inch, 10 millimeters or a 3/8 inch flat brush, and then a number 6 round. Oh, that's awesome. And then some of these are ones that I got on sale at Hobby Lobby, because unfortunately when you go to Hobby Lobby, you have a lot of those that are like, oh, this is cancer and reproductive harm, California compliance sticker, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, we can't make paintbrushes that don't potentially give us cancer. I know they have to put those on them, and they're on for everything, but I mean, let's choose the materials that don't want to attack us. Anyway, these ones don't have it, and these were at Hobby Lobby. These are the Moderna Royal and Langnickel. This one is a 0 round, which you can tell it's, can zoom in a little bit more here. It has, let's see if we can get it. There we go. It has had better days, it's a little frayed, but you can tell I use them a lot. Oh, awesome, Christine. Oh, I'm so glad. Well, today is going to be a whole new kind of deal because we're doing gouache. Let's see. Linda, hello. You know what's funny? Yeah. Mona. Hi, Mona. I have one copy that in the middle was coming up her. Ah, gotcha. The funny thing is I never really knew about gouache. Our lovely community member from a few years ago, Laura Rafferty, she actually put out her own coloring book as well. She used gouache, and I had no idea what it was at the time, so I didn't really pay all that much attention. But now I'm like, oh my gosh, where have you been all my life? So this one is a 1/4 inch angle flat brush or a 6 millimeter. This one is a number 3 round. This one is a 0 round. And then we have this one here, I believe came with an Upcrate art box that they sent me. And this one brand is Lineo. And it is a 0. So I use a lot of 0s, but I have a lot of them because like some are significantly more used than others, and they're very well loved. And then this one is just a standard, I probably won't use this one today, but this one is a Fine Touch Hobby Lobby brand that's just a number 6 round. This one again came from an Upcrate paintbrush, and this is a number 6 Da Vinci flat brush. And then lastly, these Van Gogh ones, I love them, but I've only ever gotten them in like paint sets. I need to look into like the brush sets for them, but this is a Van Gogh Royal Talons number 6 brush. Now I thought I had out another brush that I pulled, here it is. Okay, so this one is also a 0, but if you look, sometimes the brush length can matter too. So here, let's see. There we go. Okay, so this is a 0 and this is a 0, but as you can see, this one is a little bit longer. So it really just depends on what I'm painting at the time that makes it work. Let's see, are we gonna get back in focus? Hang on, let's zoom out. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna move this over real quick so we don't accidentally get any paint splatters on it. Let's go ahead and pull out our colors. Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's coloring community is fabulous. Okay, so we're just gonna dump these out. So this is the, oh, and we got another Rogue Student one. This is the 60 count set from Arteza. They actually sent me this when I did a project with Lumelite, resin company thingy. Anyway, and so I've been using it since. As you can, or quite a bit, you can see that I've got some rolled tubes. Would the longer brush or shorter brush be better for going over lines? So, well, it's cool, Kim, because I'm totally jealous of your trip, so we can be equally jealous of each other. So with the longer brush, it is going to bend more. It really, honestly, just depends for me. I think it's more, what do you feel like you have the best control of, a longer or a shorter brush? So we decided we want a purple. We're actually going to turn this because we're going to put the paint drops in here. Right? I'll give you my paint and I'm going to head to Paris because that sounds like a lot of fun and I'm having serious like FOMO issues. Fear of missing out. No, I'm so excited for you. I think it's you guys are having so much fun. It's great. All right, so for our purples, actually, let's look at our dragon real quick. So, I want to do some candy here. We could do, okay, I'm going to ask you guys, do we want to do like a brown kind of fall dragon? Or an orange dragon or a purple dragon? Because I'm kind of on the fence because we have those apples and she's sitting in what I assume is like some grass. So we're gonna vote real quick. What color for the dragon? And keeping in mind, brown isn't just gonna be boring. Like we'll add highlights. We can make it cute. So, because we could do like brown on the outside with like a purple in the body. So, okay, we're gonna do brown, purple, or orange. Yes, happily jealous is the word. Okay, there we go. All right, so go ahead and do your vote real quick. Gosh, I love coffee. It is delicious. Now, I know I have this little thing that we used for highlights, but I'm specifically not using this today because I want to keep this a clean white without other color paints in it because I'll use that for highlights and stuff. But like I said, we have 60 colors. There are smaller sets of paint if you wanted to try them out. But there are smaller sets of the Arteza paint as well. So a big part of it is what is going to be most cost effective for your budget. The Winsor Newton Designer for the 10 set, that's going to be on the higher end. It runs about 50. I don't recall what these ones are, but also if you wanted to try these, you could always order online somewhere, like in your next pencil refill, grab a tube or two of this one. Now this one is a larger size tube because I knew I would be using white a lot. This is the size tube that comes in the 10 set. So the 10 set size tube is 14 milliliters or 0.47 fluid ounces. The larger one is the 37 milliliters or 1.25 US fluid ounces. And this larger tube was, I think, around 10 bucks, I think, which is another reason why I'm using these ones for our fun pages and I save those ones for the paintings that I sell. Yes, there you go. Think fall will be cute. Have coffee too? Awesome. Yeah, I absolutely, definitely need coffee. But it was nice. I took a little time for myself yesterday, which is the first time it's happened in ages. Oh, thank you, Alex. Yes, I know. Okay, so the Winsor & Newton student grade one is $14.49. So, and it comes with, let's see, how many colors do we have here? If I've got them all over here, like they're just sort of scattered across my desk because I do paint like all the time. Let's see, we got 2 more. How many is that? That is 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's probably a white here somewhere. So I think it's, there it is, white. Not to Susie. Well, I know she's on her cruise right now. She said she'd try and drop in for a little viewy view, but yeah, so there is 10, which is actually all the same colors that come with these ones. I have a couple more of these colors that I've added. I think I added another red and another green, and then of course the permanent white, because I wanted to make sure that I had a variation of colors when I did the festival. Yeah, 10 something for one. I'm going to be honest, Kim, I don't know the exact answer, but I'm going to say yes. They're able to make it a cheaper paint, I think probably because of like the fillers and for a second, I thought Alex was talking about the paint. I'm like, hold up, they put white chocolate in their paint? But yeah, so I think it probably has to do with the ingredients because the designer ones are like professional level painters paint. This has probably got the premium ingredients with it. And honestly, I just love it so much. Like I have to stop myself from using it like in my coloring books and saving it for my paintings. But the time is coming. The time is coming in a couple weeks where I'm actually going to have some time to work on some paintings. Right, Sharon? Exactly. Because it's still good. This, like, you know how I was saying yesterday, the issue with, like, the Hobby Lobby brand watercolors, how it, like, flakes and it, like, doesn't dissolve the way that it should be. Oh, perfect. And, Alex, you're so handy. All right, the 20% of our teases is $24.59. There we go. Coffee? Did someone say coffee? Yes, I have a full cup. Today might be a second cup of coffee day, but we'll see. Hi, Jeanette. But if you're wanting to try out the Winsor & Newton level, but still have something that is a little bit friendlier to the budget, this is also a very good set. In fact, this was the set that I got for my paintings, and then I was surprised by a lovely anonymous someone who gifted me the designer set, and then I added a couple more colors of my own. All right, so let's see. What is the winner here? We have got 25 votes, and purple is the winner. Awesome. Okay, so for our purple colors, we'll zoom out just a little bit. Oh, awesome, Sharon. Yes, it's going to be, I love it so much. And, you know, even when I'm not doing the Johanna pages, oh, see, here's another one that I got in a upgrade box. It is the Aqualight Princeton brush 10/0. I'm not sure what the 10/0 is, but most of the time I replace my small ones when they start to get a little bit frayed, because I do tend to be a little bit rougher. I've got a fan brush, don't use it all that often. I really like this one for a larger brush. I got this one on Amazon. This is a Princeton Aqualight 3/4 inch 1.9 centimeter, or 3/4 inch 1.9 centimeter. Anyway, there's loads of different things you can do, but am I one of those people that can take, like, because I've got this whole set of brushes as well that I use for various things. Like that one was well used. This one's mostly like my varnish brush, but you know, I store them up for sure. And then I definitely have some like craft brushes that I'll use for different things, but I am not the kind of person that can grab the angle brush and suddenly bust out with like these beautiful roses. That's why the 2-hour painting was hard for me, because I had to concentrate because I want to add the details. So I like something where I can slow down and almost kind of like zoom in with myself. You know, obviously you can't go like this to your painting, although that hasn't stopped me when I've been working on drawings, because I draw a lot on my iPad. I like, without thinking, well, try and zoom in. I can tell you right now, it didn't work. Didn't work. Francis, possibly Mythic World by Kirby. Oh, I love that. You just enabled me. So come here and check the prices last night. I love it. Common watercolor brush size 0 was $5.99. This was all. Oh, nice. Jeanette, that's awesome. Well, yeah, for these ones here, Hobby Lobby, these were actually on clearance. So I want to say I got these ones, these purple ones, 67 cents. So always, if you're at the art craft stores and they've got a clearance section, just, you know, run your eye over the list. Sometimes they're pulling like paintbrushes they don't plan on carrying anymore. And I'm like, yoink, yoink, double yoink, and I will take them all. Because, are you kidding me? If a paintbrush is regularly like $5 and I can get it for 67 cents, you better believe I will be getting that brush, because I'm sure at the rate I go through brushes, I will use it at some point in the future. So, all right, for our purples then, we're going to be using, I'm going to need to use a cloth. Some of these have got like dried paint. Yep, yoink, absolutely. I will yoink every day. Oh, now my painting tubes are going to embarrass me by not opening. Well, you know, I didn't want to use mauve anyway. Oh, there we go. Good morning, Renee. Okay, so we're going to do mauve. Okay, which is the A407. And again, I have these 60 count sets. So if you have a smaller set, I mean, you don't really need all of these colors. I could make all the colors that we're going to use today with just the 10 set. And again, I've added, this is the Winsor & Newton design ones. So this is the white zinc. I added the permanent white over here. The other colors I added to the set were, actually, I want to say the brown was not originally in the set. I got a slightly, can't remember which one. I got a slightly different brown, and I got another red. So Yeah, I have a total, or the brown might have been there. Anyway, but the point is I added some colors to it, and I have a total of 11, including the permanent white. So if we were, I could use just this, but one of the reasons I'm not using this is because these are all dried, which is fine on my own, but for the sake of speed today, I wanted to make sure that all of my palette was wet. So that is why we are using these. All right, so then we're gonna do the lilac, which is A408. Okay. And I never really swatch paint because you can see like right here what your colors are. But if you want to, you absolutely can. Ooh, well, it's a good time to get them opened. Oh no, wait. Wait. Did you say that you were on the river? Hold on. Yeah, you're on a river. Okay, don't get your paints open on a river. Although I can't talk because that was my notorious horrible sunburn this summer. Is we take the kids to play at a river that really isn't all that deep, and I took one of those fabric lawn chairs and I sat in the river and had all my painting stuff with me, and it was great. And this particular painting set has 2 cups that go on either side, and so you're supposed to be able to drape that over your leg. Anyway, long story short, I initially planned to leave my shorts on because I had my suit on, you know, my swimsuit on underneath, but then I was like, oh, I'm going to sit in the river, so I took my shorts off. But the thing of it is I put my sunblock on when I still had the shorts on and forgot to put sunblock on my now exposed leg, and needless to say, I still have the tan lines from it. And I did paint in the river, but I didn't, like, you know, drop any paint water in the river. But still, it was a disaster. Okay, so this is a metallic. This is Pearl Lavender A706. But yes, if you're in like an inner tube, I'm gonna go with probably a hard pass for in the river. Okay, so see, I've never been to Paris. I would love to go. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to start saving and then like just go to Europe for like a week or a month or forever. Just tell Steve, like, it's cool, we're moving to Europe, hun. Okay, so let's see. I want to include Ice Blue, which is A500. Big red, so I feel relaxed about it. Oh, I love that. Yeah, that would be really nice. At some point, Steve and I want to go to South Korea. But we have friends that live there, and they have... I offered to bring you my luggage, Kim. I'm not that tiny. Steve and I definitely want to go, but it's great. Nightbot did call her a wizard. It's great because we have friends who live in South Korea, so when and if we ever make it over there, we'll have translators and a place to stay, so that will be pretty cool. Okay, so let's see. We've got the light blue. Let's see, what other colors? Because, I mean, we could just put all the colors, but I don't think we're going to use them. So definitely some purple. Ooh, we need to get some oranges and probably a pink or two. So let's do our oranges down here at the bottom. So this is orange A108. Now, I'm not going to be able to remember what all of these paint names are. So if you're following along and you're putting the same paints down on your palette, you know, you can feel free to mark them or take notes of them. But it'll pretty much just be like, okay, well, we're getting this kind of muted light purple. We're getting this rich purple. We're getting this, you know, really kind of dark purple. We got a metallic purple. We got a light blue. So after, I'm saying the names now, but afterwards, if you are curious, you will have to take notes for them because I won't be able to remember. Orange red. I almost forgot to put on deodorant today. I know you guys can't smell me, but I can smell me. And even though I showered, like, that's just a normal thing. And so, like, there have been times where I forgot because being under all these lights too, it gets really warm. And then I stop streaming and I'm like, oh, well, I forgot to put that on this morning. So there's that. High Groon, Italy and Greece. Oh my gosh, I would love to go to Greece. Absolutely. Okay, so that is light apricot. I'm pretty much just putting any colors down that I think we might use. So let's see. Then we're going to do pearl apricot, which is A701. I do like the variety of colors we have here. Oh, poor Sophie. I hope she feels better soon. Did he really, Yana? Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh my God, Steve and I, like, it's no secret that we love Lord of the Rings, and the amount of Lord of the Rings memes that I save for him is kind of ridiculous. Okay, so this is, making a mess. This is saffron orange. Okay, let's see. Is that it for the oranges? I don't think I want to do peach. We're definitely going to add, oh, this one's a good one. This is wine berry. I like this one. Okay. Oh, Scotland was gorgeous. I want to go back there at some point. There was still so much I didn't get to see. The castles that blah, blah, words are hard. Exclamation point words. The castles that we went to go see were very cool. We did Dunatar Castle. We did Dune Castle. We did Slane's Castle, which is a truly abandoned castle. Like there's not a, oh, $5 to get in and stay off the ground. No, this was truly abandoned. I have video of it. But it was actually, the cool part about it is it's right on the coast of Scotland, and it is the castle that was the inspiration for the Dracula story. Ooh, Spain would be neat. Okay, Pearl Bubblegum Pink. I haven't looked because these pearl sets came with it, but I do wonder if they've got just like a whole like line of pearl colors. Let's see, we're gonna do Rose, which is A404. And what we're doing today, you could also still get the same effect with watercolors. The issue is we're gonna be layering today, so that's probably gonna have something to do with it. And just because it's fun, this is peach red, but let's be honest, it's essentially hot pink. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, Francis, it was creepy. It was really creepy. And it was crazy. So we went to Scotland in March, and it was so cold and rainy and windy. I'll have to pull up the video for it at some point. I did a little vlog on the channel, and then I think I pulled it down when I was trying, well, I didn't pull it, but I archived it. So I'll need to pull it up again. But it was really just kind of eerie because the wind was so strong that day. Just the metallics in the set. Perfect. Alex, you're so handy. Hi, Angela. But obviously there's no windows in it, and like the stairs were all halfway crumbled. But because it's right on the coast, like it's right on a cliff, it was so windy and so rainy that the sea was just crazy, really rough, so much so that it was slapping up against the cliff. But there was like so much sea foam going through the window, you would have thought that it was snowing. But because all of the windows are blown out, it was almost like a wind tunnel. And you can see in the clip that I'm filming it, but I get knocked back. I didn't spend too long in there, but if you wanted to go somewhere spooky in Scotland for Halloween, oh, easily that place. And it was so windy. My mom actually, she stayed in the car, so I didn't go out there too long, but I do have a number of pictures I'll have to pull out at some point. That was Pearl Coral A705. Okay, let's do a little bit of green, because I think we'll do green apples, or green and yellow apples. We'll get a little bit of yellow too. We're going to be mixing our paints over on this area, and maybe a little bit in there if we have space. But yeah, we're just trying to kind of trying to place the ones that I think will be useful. So that was Naples yellow, A101. Sweden in the Vasa Museum in Stockholm was awesome. Oh, that's cool. Is that she went to Slane's Castle and walked into a Poe novel. Yeah, that sounds about right. It was creepy. It was super creepy, but also pretty cool. We went during the daytime, so that's helpful. Not lemon yellow. That's a little too bright. Let's get some of the lime green. Watch The Hobbit for the first time. Oh, Leanne, how did you like it? Oh my gosh, I would love to be in the room with somebody who knows nothing about the Lord of the Rings story and watching it for the first time. Like, those reactions would be amazing. Just finished The Rings of Power. Okay, don't tell me on that one. Steve and I are so behind on getting caught up. We did watch an episode the other day, but there just hasn't been time. So I want to say we're about halfway through the episode. So we're catching up. We're at the episode where we suddenly discovered that orcs have families and there's baby orcs. the funny thing is Tolkien does allude to those in the book. So it's not something that they just made up for the show. It's just something that they left out in the movies. But I don't know. I feel a little bit better about them cutting down thousands of orcs when we think they just spring up out of the ground somehow. Okay, a little bit of pale green. All right, and then we'll definitely get a darker, cooler kind of green. So this is Viridian green. Like I said, there's 60 colors here. So loads of choices for colors when you're trying to figure out exactly what you want to do. Okay, this one is Sap Green A602, right? It was so good. Hi, Zippy, and I'm sure I missed people coming in. So if I missed your hello, I apologize. Hello, everyone. You're so lovely. So glad you're here. This is Pearl Sage Green. Some of these pearl ones I know I got in previous Arteza Advent calendars. So that's why I've got some duplicates of these, because I have like duplicates of the Pearl Sage and everything. Okay, this one is Deep Green. We'll go ahead and include this. Jared Rings of Power too. Yeah, same. Okay, is that all that we want to do? I think let's just add one red just in case, and let's do crimson red. Put it over here with the other reds. Okay. And obviously we can add more later. Let's do, what do we have here? This is Pearl Deep Brown. I don't want to do a pearl brown. Burnt Umber, I think that'll be good. Oh yeah. We'll get those here in a second. I'm talking about like actual colors, because I'm going to be adding the designer whites for this one, because I really, really like them. Let's see. Space Gray, Prussian Blue. Aha. Here we go. All right. So, open. All right. So this is the black. And then we're going to grab the zinc white for mixing. And then we'll have the permanent white for any, I think I'm going to put the zinc white over here. The other thing is I don't think it will, but I'm hoping that the, yeah, see, it's a much like thicker bodied gouache paint. I had to like use 2 hands to squeeze that. It is quality paint. All right. And then the permanent white is going to go over in this other corner so I can tell the difference between the two. There we go. Okay. So for Rings of Power, that is on Amazon Prime. And the thing to remember for Rings of Power is it's not made by the same people who made Lord of the Rings. The story is changed up a little bit because it's not canon, and part of it is a copyright thing. So they're kind of doing their own thing. But I would highly recommend, Steve and I have both listened to The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit on Audible. And if you're going to, what are we painting today? A dragon. If you're going to listen to it on Audible, hands down, get the Andy Serkis Audible version of it. Because Andy Serkis plays Gollum in the movies. And I'm telling you, it was like an extended edition almost, hearing him do all the voices. And because he knew all of the actors, it's great because things like Boromir and Gandalf and Aragorn, he does their inflections. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So yeah, if you're going to do Audible, the other guy is just fine. But for somebody who loves the, did I get this pearl? No, let's do pearl. Who loves the movies? Hi, Dee. I absolutely love Andy Serkis's version of it. That was A708 Pearl Emerald Green. And lastly, I forgot, I also wanted to add gold just in case we decide that it needs something a little bit shiny. Right? He did so good. He is such an amazingly talented actor. Like, it's great. Yes, exactly. Imagine if somebody took watercolor and then added a bunch of chalk to the watercolor. That's kind of the idea of what you've got going on. Right? She's so helpful. Thank you, Alex. Okay, so now we've got our books. So at some point I need to sit down and try and remember what pencils I use for this, because I've had at least 3 people on Instagram ask for the pencil names and such, but I don't remember. I know there was some mulberry and some other stuff, but that's all I got. Sorry. So for those of you that are asking, if you're like, why hasn't she replied? It's because I need to find time to sit down and think for a minute. Okay, so one of the things that I am going to be using today that I highly recommend when you're coloring in the adult coloring books is a heat gun. Now, if you don't have a heat gun, if you have like a little fan, that works a little bit slower, but it does help. Alternatively, you can use a blow dryer. Now, you may wonder, what is the difference between the heat gun and the blow dryer? The blow dryer, while it blows heat, blows more air. The heat gun is less pressure with the air and more heat. So number one, never put your hand under the heat gun. You will burn yourself. You can always tell by once you're done, like tap your paper, yeah, your paper's really hot. But the reason that a heat gun or some sort of drying is very handy in the books is because this book, it is not watercolor paper. It is, although very high quality paper, it is not watercolor paper. And the difference being is the watercolor paper is meant to hold up to a certain amount of wet medium. It doesn't start to break down until you super saturate it. But it doesn't have the fibers, it doesn't have the thickness, it doesn't have the special way that it's made to hold up to that. So the key to using, oh yay, awesome. The key to using wet medium in coloring books is dry in between your layers. If you're adding water and you're like, ooh, the paper's starting to like pill up a little bit, stop what you're doing, dry it completely. Then that will allow you, oh, sounds good, Kim, have fun. Then that will allow you to add more layers on top. Now, if you are following along with watercolor rather than gouache, the difference that you're going to find today is that we will be layering a bit more. So with gouache, I find that it is a happy medium between watercolor and acrylic. You get the layering capabilities of acrylic with the reactivation, and you can get the opacity of watercolor. So like I said, I find it's like best between both worlds. So at the very least, if you want some white gouache, then you can layer a little bit. But that is one of the reasons that I have been so in love with it. If you are doing gouache or any kind of paint in the Johanna books, definitely some small brushes. I cannot say for sure how well acrylic holds up in the books because acrylic it stays wet for much longer. With gouache and watercolor, it can dry a lot faster. So you may end up with a warping of your page. One of the other things that I have actually, so if you have a regular iron, like that you iron your clothes with, that will work. But I recently treated myself because you know, I get a little bit of money when you guys use my links through Amazon, and I'll usually get it on a gift card. It's not like a ton, but sometimes it is enough that I can get a little treat. Something like this. This is a little tiny mini iron. The brand is HTV Ront. HTVRONT. Anyway, I have the link in the description below. It only gets us hot to about a 3. This will not work if you also want to use it for like iron on things or iron on vinyl. It doesn't get hot enough. But what it's handy for, oh I know, it's so adorable. And it's got this little stand that you can put it on. What I find it extremely handy for, hang on, it's wrapped up in cords here and I don't want to burn myself, is once you're done, you take a piece of computer paper, flatten your book as much as possible, then you can take it over the top and iron it because it will, I know it's adorable, the paper, depending on how much water you used, will buckle. So I actually have this plugged in over here for when we want to use it. But it's super cute, super handy, and I love it that I can put it at the desk. Did I also purchase it thinking I could use vinyl with it? Yes. Did I discover it the other day when I did Lucy Square? Yes. Was I mildly disappointed? Yes. Will I stop using it? Absolutely not. It's tiny and it's adorable. It's perfect for the watercolor pages. But the key thing, if you're using a regular iron at home, make sure there's a piece of paper between you and your picture and put it on some of the lowest settings. And it's just enough that it will flatten it out. So when I did this pumpkin, that's what I did. Now, it's not perfect. It's still got a little bit, but it's not so warped that I couldn't color on the opposite side. So you can see how the page is curved just a bit, but it's not so warped that I wouldn't be able to color on that side. So the link for that is in the description. Other tools, I just have my standard cup of water. Honestly, I use whatever jar or cup that I have at the desk that's empty. You could use, like I've got this cup, super festive. It's got pencils in it right now. It's super cute and festive, but can anybody guess why I wouldn't use this one over this one? Give it 2 seconds. Just type in !loyalty, and then that will take you to the store. The reason being is because you can't see through it. I like to be able to see through my cup when I do painting because I want to see how dirty my water is. So I usually choose a clear cup. I've got these rags here. These are some towels that we've had for ages that fell apart enough that they were not towels that you could use for showering anymore. So I have about 2 of these towels that I have cut up, and I keep a stack of them over there behind me, but they're super handy. The only downside to using towel rags versus something like a microfiber or a paper towel is that on occasion a tiny little fuzzy or a thread will come off the towel and get on the paintbrush, but I cut these up knowing that, and honestly I have used so many less paper towels doing this, and because I have so many of them, I've usually always got one on my desk, and it's great for quick spills or whatever else, so it has become my go-to thing to keep on the desk. Okay, I think that's everything. If you guys missed in the beginning, our palette that we're using today is an old drawing pencil tin. I like it because it's got the lid on it. Open drink together with a cup for water. Oh my God, Francis, I did that the other day. It was a couple weeks ago, my throat was bothering me, whatever, and I asked Steve to make me a cup of tea. He got it all made, had it in my favorite mug. It was sitting here, and before I could even take a drink, and it was as I had my brush in my tea that I was like, no. So yeah, we're a touch guilty on that one. So yeah, if you like sippy cups the way I do, also because I tend to shake, so sippy cups are always my friend. Thank you, Trey. Yes, it was super exciting. That's why I'm kind of taking this whole week long of streams that we're doing as almost like celebratory for it. All right, what do you say we get some painting done? Now I'm going to be zooming in. My secondary camera is still fully pointing to here, so it's not pointing down at the paint. So if you have a question about what or exactly how we're mixing, I can always bring it over and show you kind of what we are mixing up. Do you put anything behind the page? No, but you definitely can. I haven't really had any issues with it bleeding through. Sorry, it's really bright. We're going to adjust it here in a second. So this was, I spent probably about 20-25 minutes on this, and mostly because it took longer because I was filming it at the same time. Good morning, Kim. I know I've missed people coming in too, so if I missed you, I apologize. But this hummingbird is exactly where the pumpkin was. So here, let's turn that down a little bit. So here's the pumpkin. Here's the hummingbird. So no, I have not had any issues with oh, you're not going to go in focus. There we go. I have not had any issues with it showing through on the other side. Let's see. I want to stop by and say hi for a little bit. What are we coloring in today? I'm also doing my coloring too. Sorry for being MIA. I had to take time. No, you're just fine. We are coloring in Johanna's newest book, Magical Worlds. It released in the US on the 22nd and in the UK on the 24th. So we have been streaming. Oh no, no, Dee. We have been streaming every day to celebrate the release of the new book. So no, I don't usually put anything between, mostly because I dry it pretty quickly. Okay, oh, we almost got that. I'm gonna need to find a better place for this, I think. Maybe on top of the book rather than under. All right, so let's go ahead and get zoomed in on our lovely little lady. This is one of those days where the cat cannot come in and jump on the desk. We had an issue with that with our older kitty the other day, and I had to thoroughly clean all the purple off her paws. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I love the book so much. So much. Good morning, Megan. All right, so will we do a background? I don't know. We're going to see where our picture kind of takes us. Megan, thank you so much. Get some hypes in chat for Megan. Exclamation point hype and those handy dandy hype emotes. Thank you so much for the support, Megan. 14 months. Love it. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see, I'm still waiting for my pre-order book from Amazon UK. Oh no. Where did Suzanne? She ordered hers from, it started with a W. Waterstones, I think. And they had it, and she got she paid for the expedited shipping, and it got there really fast. So maybe send her a message and double check where she, oh, it was Waterstones. Okay, gotcha. Right? I know it. I know one of these days I'm going to have all of the UK shops memorized. All right, so we are going to do purple, and I think we'll do some orange accents. So let's get started with her head, I think. And although we have a wide variety of purples, that doesn't mean that we can't blend to get our same purples. So for the sake of being able to follow along, I'm going to be referring to a lot of these colors by how they look to me, because I obviously don't have their names next to them and I'm not going to be able to remember. So like this, I'll say, oh, this is the kind of muted light purple, then purple and dark purple and pearl purple and that kind of thing. So if you're following along and you're frustrated because I'm not saying the names, I'm sorry, but my memory is terrible. So we're just going to go by what they look. And honestly, when you paint, it's hard to replicate that. Like, it's just kind of fun to just kind of start experimenting. Okay, so I'm using the slightly longer brush one, and it's a 0. And part of the reason I'm using this one is because it's new and it's super pointy and I like it. Of course, now that I'm looking at her face, if we're going to do that, no, I take it back. Don't pay attention to me. We're going to use the shorter one. So this is also a 0, but with a slightly shorter length to the brush. So let's start with, like I said, you can layer these. So I think we're actually going to start with we're going to actually add a little bit of our zinc white to the kind of muted, I think it was mauve of the purple. And I want to pull it out of, here, we'll do this. I want to pull it out of its muted tone just a little bit, because there wasn't truly a light purple. So we're going to add a little bit of pink, I think. In fact, let's have fun with it and let's add some of this pearl pink. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more. And you don't even really need the mauve. If you wanted to go a different route, you could add like some of the richer purple, which we actually could add just a dot of it. Now I'm not mixing a ton of paint because it's going to be a small space. Okay, that's a little bit more what I was looking for. So it's warmed up a little bit because of the pink. Now we are going to do our best. I know that you guys can you're like, oh my God, it's on her paper. We're going to do our best not to make a mess. But you know what? Even if we were to make a mess, it's usually pretty fixable. Nothing's ever completely lost. That's the Artex 64 dual brush pens from my Paint by Numbers Disney French book. Oh, nice. Get a big set for Christmas on Black Friday. I know I'm going to have to keep an eye on Black Friday, see what they got this year. Okay, so we are going to start with that. Now, what you can do if you want to cover up your black lines as well is you can just very carefully go to the edge. Now, she's got these little lines here, which I think we will re-emphasize when we add our extra lighter colors. Now, I'm going to try and go around her eyes. You could go over them directly and then add your own, but for the sake of wanting to remember where her facial features are, we're gonna go over it. You know, it's so funny. I was telling little Emily this the other day because I was doing her face makeup for her Halloween party. And when I was doing her makeup, I was really struggling because my hands were shaking a lot. And part of it is because I was doing it in an opposite direction. Like, I'm not doing it on my face. And I feel like sometimes that's the way with painting, is that I've gotten this muscle memory of not allowing my hands to shake, but sometimes when I'm painting, like, it gets the better of me, which is why I cannot paint straight lines for how thick would you say the books? Are you talking about the paper or the books based on how many pages are in them? Because honestly, the paper feels, I know there were some complaints about paper in the past, but honestly, it feels just the same as all of our other books. It's a bit more ivory than like in comparison to Lost Ocean, which was, you know, a bright white. But there was a reason behind the bright white too, because she knew that, you know, a lot of blues, a lot of oceans and everything. So she wanted to make sure that those would pop. Okay. Around just a little bit, and this is just kind of like our first color, and in fact this will probably be, and you can see it's drying already where the lighter versus the darker is. The paper in the book, yeah, no, it's great. If you have any of her previous books, it's going to be about the same thickness. And the fact of the matter is we're not actually using all that much water, just enough so that it can move across. Now, the more water that you have in your paint, the smoother it will run across your page. Now, we're about to add some more. So like I said, I'm going to dry in between colors. Because right now, she just looks like somebody threw a jar of jam at her face. But it's going to get better. How are the cats doing? Oh, they're good. They're just hanging out there. I did not want the interruptions with them today because I cannot have cat feet in the paint. It would be disastrous. So we've sort of lost her nose, but it's all gonna come back with the paint. Don't know where to start in the book. Do want to like the small victories, just something little. Okay, so you can always kind of check. It's pretty dry. It's not fully dry underneath, but it's dry enough that we can add our other layer. Leanne, yay! Awesome, yeah, I'm really, oh, yeah, it's happened. It's happened. I'm really hoping, I keep trying to get to the squares, but it just hasn't happened yet, so I'm hoping to get them done later this week. Okay, so we have our first layer on, but I think what I want to do now is go for our slightly darker purple color. So I'm mixing a little bit of that kind of a little bit of the kind of rich, kind of mid purple that we have here, and we're going for something like so. Okay. It was just that so far. So now we're going to go back in and we're going to start to kind of figure out where our shadows are going to be. So I'm not doing full strokes. I'm just doing tiny little, not even flicks, but almost like dabs. Thomas Linkage books. Do you mean Thomas Kincaid or Thomas? I don't know who Thomas. Oh, Kincaid. There we go. Yes, I've done his Disney book. And I believe we did the Peter Pan page with paint. It might have been watercolor though. I wasn't doing gouache yet at that point. Okay, I'm not really worried about blending it in with the other purple because we're actually going to be able to do that just with water. But what I am going to do is we have that part of the dragon's little face. And we are going to get those lines back in there just a bit. And like I said, once we get all of our colors on here, it'll all bounce out. And this is also how I can easily spend an hour on one little painting, and it's because I really slow down here. When it comes to my painting, I love the details. That's a touch much. So this is just the same purple that we mixed already. And I'm going with the same, I just always end up defaulting to where my light is coming from the right. I can't help it. It's just how it works. Okay, so we're gonna bring that up just a little bit. Okay. So now we're going to take a clean brush. Had it when I looked through and wrapping it up was like, I need one, but I don't know what to choose. Is there a Christmas one? There is a Christmas one, actually. It is one of her few books that has perforated pages and they're single-sided. And if you go to her website and go to her blog and search like downloads, if you scroll down, there's also some Christmas gift tags that you can color. Yeah, Johanna's Christmas. Sorry, I said that, but didn't say that. But yes, Johanna's Christmas. It's wonderful. Okay, so we're just going to take our water, and this is when the reactivation of the paint really comes in handy. So I'm also used to the level of activation of the Winsor & Newton design, so I have to remember not to leave this too long. But I'm just taking water and kind of reactivating that a little bit and kind of blending it in with the color that I have already. And again, it's going to look a little bit different until it dries completely. You may be like, what is going on here? But this is definitely a trust the process kind of situation. Okay, so now we're going to take just the regular kind of, muted mauve color. And we're going to bring that in here. We're going to kind of layer that in the in-between area between those colors. Another way that you could do this without, you can take your time and you don't have to worry about blending the colors so much, as you could do a little bit of pointillism and kind of create it with dots, which I actually started doing with the Millie Murata. Hang on, let me see if I've got it on hand here. There was the Millie Murata axolotl page. Let me see if I've got it. Hang on. I'm sure that I do. It's just buried in my little file folder here. Well, I posted a picture of it at some point, but you can do tiny little like pointillism dots if you are feeling too overwhelmed by doing the blending. About 2.5 weeks ago, I watched your streams with Lurk and I didn't feel, oh, I'm so sorry, but I'm glad that we were able to keep you company. Yeah, Johanna Basford. Yeah, Basford. And the link for this book is in the description below as well. Oh, see, yeah, I love the tiny spaces. Like, they're my favorite. Okay, so let's add a little bit more zinc white to that purple mixture that we made earlier. Okay, so this is what we've got going on. And the dragon head isn't too wet right now, so we can keep going forward without using the heat gun yet. Okay, so how I'm kind of dabbing this is also kind of like doing the pointillism. You could do the dabbing like this all the way through. Okay. And then when we go in with our water, we'll kind of spread that around just a little bit. Okay. Gonna add somewhere her little nose. It's funny though, because we got a mouth, but that was, maybe it's just like her chin. I don't know. I know that her goal was just a cute dragon, and I think she very much succeeded. You can also use a water pen if you want, but because of my familiarity with brushes, I feel much more comfortable. Let's see, let's do a little bit here. I feel much more comfortable using regular paintbrushes. Let's see. Oh, I'm so glad you're better now. Point is you find yourself in bed, half asleep with your hand, thinks it's still painting points. Yes, also true. Found it difficult to explain. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so I just have water on my brush right now. And I'm just kind of moving paint around a little bit in the spots that I want. And think of this purple as like our first layer. Once we get more of our colors in, we're gonna darken it up. And in fact, I think what I wanna do is we're gonna grab some of that dark purple that we have on there. Okay, ooh, that's a really, really rich purple. Probably a little bit too rich. Let's get a little bit of white with it. Let's show you what I'm mixing. It's definitely a much cooler purple than what we're working with, but I'm kind of cool with that. So we're going to add it here. In fact, we're going to add a little bit more of that purple. I want it just a bit darker. And it is completely okay if like the length of time that I spend on this doesn't appeal to you. Today's was mostly because one, I really wanted to do paint in these books, and two, I've had a lot of people ask me like how I end up doing it in these books, and this is how. Sometimes it just takes a little while. Like I could go faster if I wanted to, but I don't want to. But we should be able to get this little girl done today. And like I said, Tuesday is going to be a little bit different. So if for some reason anything is to come up with the kids, just make sure you have your notifications on so that you can see, when I'm going live or if things are changing, all that kind of stuff. That is usually where I will keep you informed, because I do have 2 kiddos and they are always my priority. So if anything changes with them, I don't know. I don't think I want to emphasize this line anymore. Like it's not looking quite right. So we're gonna ignore that kind of shape. And we'll sort of add our own shapes to her. Okay, like I said, we're just using water at the moment to kind of move things around. And then I clean it when I feel like I've got too much. There you go. Currently $9.17 on Amazon, 46% off from $16.90. Ooh, nice. Bye, Francis. Thanks for being here. And I'll always go and revisit things after I have more color on the other items when I can kind of figure out. Because right now, obviously, the mouth and everything is pretty, you can't really see it all that well. But we'll get back into it and add some more when we go on. So we're going to move on from her head for now. Again, trust the process. We're going to get a little bit of this purple and we are going to do part of her ears here. Okay. That's one thing that like streaming and stuff has helped me to, and I'm not great at it yet. I definitely have the instinct of don't look at it yet, it's not done. But that is the magic of doing it live, is you get to see the behind the scenes and how long it actually takes to get these done. There we go. Okay, and we got a little bit of her head back here, so we're just gonna give it a little bit of that same purple and fill in where those flowers are. I don't want to do the flowers yet until we get the rest of our color palette figured out. I do know, obviously, that we want to do some orange accents because we're coloring her in kind of a Halloween style theme. You're welcome to go over the black lines. Gouache is great for covering black lines. Okay. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to just use water, get that mixed a little bit. Hi, Sue, how are you? I guess we exactly, tidied my whole desk trying to get rid of stationery stuff, didn't go down, so I couldn't part with them. Yeah, clearing the desk to feel inspired, there's a term for that. It's called clearing to neutral. And for me, it's like it almost like clears my brain, you know, like, okay, I can concentrate now. All right, we're gonna take some of this direct purple here without actually lighting it or adding anything to it all. Love it, Sue. And we are going to emphasize some of our darker areas now. So there. And I didn't mix this with anything. This was just the straight violet under those flowers. Again, I'm imagining my light source coming from the right hand side. Okay, and after we're done with this one, before we move too much further, we're gonna give this a quick dry because I can see that the paper's not breaking down, but I can see that it's starting to buckle a bit. So we're gonna go ahead. Oh, hang on. My heat gun's caught on my chair. There we go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and try. Would you get the Christmas coloring advent calendar, the coloring book, to be honest, some kind of stuff now? They both look amazing. Well, she has the advent coloring as a download, which is really pretty. Would I personally get one? Yes, I've colored in the past, but I probably wouldn't purchase another advent book because I have my own advent calendar. Which, little personal plug, you can find in my Etsy store. So if you're looking for advent calendars, mine's all about food. Anyway. Done with the promo. Okay, that is, the paper underneath is still a little damp, but that is dry enough. Okay, so now let's see. Let's work on, just using a little bit of water here. Think of just the plain water as the blender. You're just kind of moving the pigment around just a bit. Yeah, I know she has an Advent free download, but I don't think she has an Advent calendar book. One page until the 25th. I know. Oh, by another company. I gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, there's kind of a whole, I'm usually pretty cool with it, but there's definitely a whole kind of self-promo thing that there's an etiquette around. It's different one thing if I bring it up. Like I'm talking about Renee's channel because she comes streaming right after me, but okay. So let's do her scales, shall we? Now I don't want to do them all the same color. So we're going to take this really kind of light purple. We're going to take the kind of muted mauve. We're going to get the, like, what was it? The coral pink. We're going to add a little bit there, a little bit of the richer purple, kind of medium purple that we had. And we're going to do not all of the scales that same color, but we're going to do some of them. So it'll alternate. So, hey Steve! So we're gonna go ahead and start with this one, okay? And again, I'm covering up the lines for it. Now we're overlapping her chin a little bit, only because my hands can't not. If you've been around here long enough, you know that my hands kind of have a mind of their own. But that just means that because this is technically behind the face, we'll go over the jawline a little bit better when we're done. Okay, so now we're gonna alternate scales a little bit. Let's see, let's do this one. They're just not all gonna be the exact same purple. Okay, and then like these areas under the arms will get a little bit more shadow. There we go. Let's see, let's do this one. We may even do 3 types of purple, we'll have to see. But yeah, and like I said, when I was talking about the iron earlier, that one's not absolutely necessary. It's definitely, I enjoy using it. But if I were to choose any tool that I think would be most useful or the one I'd recommend the most, it's the heat gun. And the reason I like the heat gun over the blow dryer is, like I said, the blow dryer puts out a lot of air. And if you have particularly wet paint, it could get pushed around by so much release of the air, but the heat gun is so much faster because it's such an intense amount of heat with not quite as much air blowing around. Okay, let's see. Let's do these ones here while we've got this paint wet. No, that's okay. Exclamation, let's see if I still have it. It's been a while. Try exclamation point rules in chat. I think that's what it is. It's been a while since I've had to use it. I mean, it's there, but yeah, there we go. Yeah, I had to alter it a little bit, but yeah, but I think, you know, it's funny because over on Twitch, I mod for a friend. I spend a lot of time over there. You know, there's definitely the no, you know, promo and other streams, but I think it's different when it's like your other community members. Like I have no problem. In fact, on my website, if you're looking for other streamers to watch, if you do exclamation point website, it'll take you there, and I have a whole tab called recommendations, which I do need to update. Some of the people on there aren't actively streaming anymore, but their videos are still up. But all of those people are people that I have streamed with, are in the community, and are just lovely people. So if you're looking for more channels in that sense, I've got that part up on my website. Okay, let's see. Then we'll do this one here. We're just doing these while we have this color mixed up, and then we're going to do some slightly different colors. Thank you, Alex. Nightbot is so handy for that. Except the other day, we tried to put in Shannon's command and it didn't work. It's like, hello, Nightbot, pull it together. Nightbot is really handy, though, when we do giveaways and whatnot. Okay, so just a few more with the same color. And the reason I'm doing this all now is because with paint, it's hard to get that exact same color again. So I want to get all of the scales that color that I want to be this color. And then, of course, we'll still have the wings and everything to do. But we're going to do a slightly darker color and then a lighter color as well. A bit more water. I do have a coloring book for her books, but I think it's in my cupboard. Might be MIA. No, that's fine. Yeah, she's got a number of them. There is Secret Garden, Enchanted Forest. Let's see if I can list them all in release order. So, Secret Garden, Enchanted Forest, Lost Ocean, Magical Jungle, Johanna's Christmas, World of Flowers. Ooh, this is where it starts to get fuzzy. Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. Oh, at some point in there was How to Draw Inky Wonderlands. Rooms of Wonder. Small Victories. I feel like I'm forgetting one. Small Victories, and then this one. But I almost I've got them all on my shelf back there. I should just look at it. But there's a good number of them. All right, let's see. Let's do this one in the purple. And then bonus points if you know what her first book release was. I'll give you a hint. It's a book of art. It's not a coloring book. And it's probably one of my favorites that I have in my Johanna collection. Well, I know you know. Oh, 30 Days of Creativity. Thank you, Alex. I knew that. Yeah, Worlds of Wonder. I know you know, Steve. You got it for me as a gift. So there was an art show that Johanna did. And with the art show was a release of her illustrations. Now, it was not released as a coloring book by any means. It was released as finished, I know, finished works of art. And I posted a flip through of it way back when I got it. And somebody's just like, I think it's a scam. It doesn't look like her coloring books. I'm like, you don't understand. It's not a coloring book. It's a finished book of her artwork. And here's the cool part is that the covers, the dust jacket on the books, were screen printed by hand and cut by hand by Johanna. And there were, you could find them online, but they were like $300-400, right? Like super, super high up there. And then Steve, being the smart fellow that he was, because I was like, it'd be lovely to have the book, but I'm not going to spend $300 or $400 on it. He contacted the college themselves, and miraculously, they still had like 15 copies. 15 copies. I'll grab it real quick. 15 copies, and he got one. And of course, I let my coloring group that I was in know. And oh man, They got snatched up so fast. Here we go. I'll give you guys a quick little, yeah, the publisher, yeah. Quick little look-see. I keep it in a plastic bag to try and keep it in as good a condition as possible. And actually, I brought this book with me when I went to Scotland to hang out with Johanna briefly. And she actually signed it for me, which, the coolest, like, ever. Okay, so this is it. Hang on, I'm gonna move this. I really don't want to get paint on it. Quick little short detour. I don't know if these are available anywhere anymore, but I do know the price is probably exorbitant, more than it should be. But, so like I said, the dust jacket, the book cover was all screen printed and cut by hand from Johanna. And it is just called, ooh, stay out of the paint, Emily, oh my gosh. It is called Wonderlands, and so I brought it and she signed it and it was amazing. So, it is a book showcasing all of her works. Hi, Tammy. Okay, Sharon. Sorry. Oh, fun, Tammy. Oh, thank you, Linda. See, you guys know me. There we go. Mic's back on. So it's called Wonderlands, and it is a book showcasing all of her previous finished, complete drawings. So it's got loads of them in here. It's amazing. And then if you get to the back, they're actual photographs of the exhibit. So there's that dog. We've all seen the dog in her. We've got the people as well, the mannequins that she drew on. We've all seen those. So this was where they were all displayed. So this was the actual art show. Okay, so it's got close-ups of those. Got those that are down. I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to bend the spine. But there was a boat that she did, like almost a chandelier looking thing. Shower curtain, which is just so cool. I would love to have that shower curtain. And then the wall, like it was a wall of wallpaper. And then all of these co-creators are because it says Wonder Beast was a co-creation project powered by the crowdfunding platform Kickstarter. In February 2013, I invited the public to contribute to the projects and suggest creatures to become part of a hand-drawn composition. The 152 people who contributed to the project became art directors, instructing me on what to draw and shaping the creation of the artwork. In return, they received various rewards ranging from limited edition silkscreen prints, temporary tattoos, and hand-penned letters of thanks. From praying mantis to honey beavers and giant squid to hummingbirds, Wonder Beast is an eclectic, inky snapshot of wild imaginations. It was sponsored by Colt Pens. Oh, it's amazing. I will, after stream, Steve, remind me, after stream, I'll go into my previous videos and post the link in the... Right? Oh, absolutely. You can see a lot of similarities between this and Secret Garden. I'll post the link to the video in the community tab when I'm all done, because it's a slow flip through where you can see each and every page. Okay, so like this was part of the Wonder Beast thing, and she's got some pictures. You can find them somewhere online. This was more of it, where, see, these were like what people would suggest, and this is what she drew. Anyway, it's a slower video where you can see like the flip through and closer looks of it. You're good. Let's see, where did I put the bag? There it is. Okay. Yeah, it's a gorgeous book. I will find that video because it's back there. It would be not, obviously not under lives, it would be under regular videos. But it's a full flip through of it. But yeah, I brought it all the way with me to Scotland when I met her, and she signed it for me. So this was, oops, dropped a card. This was this one. This frame was actually a gift from her as well. You can see it's got her designs on it because I collaborated with her when she redid her website, and I did a lot of the colorings for Secret Garden. And so I have a few little things that are exclusive things that you sometimes just see in her office, which I just cherish so much. Like this is a Secret Garden candle, which I've never lit, but on the inside, it comes with a tiny 4-page spread of the dust jacket from Secret Garden. Like, it's super cute. And then, yeah, I haven't lit the candle before, Smells nice though. But it's special. It stays up on my shelf. Okay, enough of the tangent. Let's get back to coloring. I mean, and look how far we've come too. I mean, here we are. Painting in what? How many books that she's released? What book number is this? I don't even know. A lot of them. Okay, we're bringing our water back. Everything is safe. We're good. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, so let's get back to, let's see, I think we did enough of that purple. So now we're gonna add some more white and maybe a little bit of blue. Yeah, let's actually add that really light blue that we put in there. Kind of make it a slightly cooler colored purple. I like that. Okay. Let's see, are we in focus still? Yes, okay. All right, and like I said, the eyes are gonna be much darker. This is definitely a trust the process. We'll get there in the end kind of deal. We're just putting a lot of our base coats on right now. Aw, sounds good, Holly. Yeah, rest up, rest up. I know how that goes. Okay. Let's see, let's do this one here. And here. Okay, let's do the little elbow. We are going to fine tune all of the shadows on here. And if you do this and you're like, man, this is just too fiddly for me, one of the things that you can do is you can use the gouache as an undercoating and then use pencil on top. Oh, I love it, Holly. I'm so glad. I'm not trying to make her look like a pair of Argyle socks, so we're not going to alternate too much. We're going to try and put some colors next to one another. There's nothing wrong with Argyle socks, though. But I do like how well gouache covers up lines. Okay, let's do that one there. A little bit more paint. Oh, yeah, it's kind of like a diamond sort of, I want to say plaid, but that's not the right word for it. Yeah, Argyle socks. It's like a diamond pattern kind of plaid, sort of. Okay, let's see. Let's do this one here. And we'll do that one. I just have like tiny bits of paint that are mixed. You don't really need a ton. Okay. Sorry, I get in concentrate mode and then I find I don't talk nearly as much. Sounds good, Alex. All right, let's do this one here. And this one here. And we're gonna do the tail. And if you were doing this, you don't necessarily have to color all the individual scales. And because we're using paint, I knew that the paint would cover up the black lines. So that's why I wanted to keep these scale shapes. Now, I don't know if Corey is going live today or not. Her channel is called Colorfully Optimistic. So my plan is to keep going until this little guy is done. But if she ends up going live, I'll probably call it and we can work on the rest of it tomorrow. That's why I did it in this tin that has a lid so we can just pull out the colors. Because I don't want to rush it just for the sake of finishing it in 2 hours. I mean, we did that last one in 4 streams. Granted, it probably took us, if we would have stuck to the 2 hours, it probably took us the equivalent of 5 streams. But we fudged it a little bit. Oh, it's so fun. Hi, Kathleen. She is scheduled for today. What time does hers start, Kelly? Oh, she's starting in 10 minutes. Ah, well, plenty of internet for all. That's just really, I think I was thinking she was going to start later in the day. Well, you guys are welcome to go over and hang out at hers as well. If you want to come back and watch this, if you're following along, that is just fine too. So we will just be working on it. For some reason, I was thinking she started in the afternoon. Maybe I was confusing her with like, yeah, so yeah, she would be starting in 10 minutes. Dang it, I didn't mean to overlap that. Okay, well, yeah, feel free to go over and hang out with her. I'm pretty sure, I think, because I watched her review on this book, so I think she is going to be working on the pumpkin in this book. I think exclamation point Kori, Kori. I should have her link on there. Okay, I want to do slightly darker for the other scales, so we're going to grab more of that kind of violet. We're going to grab some of that mauve. I'm hoping that, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay, that's Kori's channel. It's so hard when like I'm streaming on times that like people aren't used to me streaming on. Like it's just kind of gets a little wonky. So we make the best of it. Okay, so I'm just mixing the violet with a little bit of that light blue and some zinc, and we're getting kind of just a nice kind of cool purple color. Okay, so Kori, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. My memory is terrible. I literally thought you were starting later. I'm sorry. So yeah, you guys feel free to go wherever you want as far as the channels are concerned. My feelings will not be hurt. I know this is kind of the out of the ordinary. We don't usually stream on Sundays. Okay. Let's see. We might do one more color purple for these spots where I'm not wanting to put the other ones. Sounds good. Audie! Hi, Audie. How are you? Audie is one of my Minecraft friends. All right, so let's see. Yeah, I'm liking how that's looking with the different purples. And like I said, it's not going to stay flat like this. We are going to add some variation. We're going to, yeah, it's going to be a bit different. I think what we'll do is we'll really lighten this purple since it's a much cooler purple than the other ones, so that we have an even amount of warm and cool purples. Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. See, I need to just write that down. I always feel like I'm double checking with Shannon and Angela because I don't have it written down. I need to just keep a calendar. I need to just keep a calendar like and post it up on the wall so I can take a look and reference who's streaming when, because I certainly can never remember. I knew that she was today, and in fact I had checked with Barbara and Suzanne as well because they usually stream on these days too. But Barbara is doing her workshop and Suzanne was on her crew. So I was like, all right, well, cool. That works out well. Because I know that Suzanne and Kori's tend to overlap as well. Sundays are a popular day, but that's just cool because it means there's more people to hang out with. Usually forget and have to watch the stream later. Yeah, same. Sounds good, Audie. Do you use to film over your lives? I have a new phone, but my stand. No, I have a Canon EOS T8i, and I have it on a big, it's called a glide gear bar. It's super handy. But no, I don't use my phone to stream. I like having all my bells and whistles, so I use OBS, which is a streaming platform, which allows me to have all of the different scenes and whatnot. Okay, let's see. All right, so we're almost done with this color. Aw, thank you. Well, like I said, I know that she looks a little flat right now, but she's gonna get some life to her. Right now, we're just kind of color blocking, really. Getting everything in the way that we want it to. So, almost done with that. And we'll have to choose a different color, probably something similar to the face for this part that is exposed by the tail. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna lighten this purple color just a bit. So this is what we have going on for that purple we just did. So now we're gonna grab some more of that zinc white and we are going to lighten it just a bit. a bit more. Okay, let's get a little bit of water so it goes smooth. Okay. And actually that's a really full brush for a tiny spot, so we're gonna take some of that off. There we go. Too much paint on the brush and it can kind of blob onto it, which is not as precise as I want. But again, because these spots are so small, it can get difficult to kind of get the exactness that you want. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to do the remainder of these scales in this real light purple. Almost done. And like I said, we're going to be doing orange as kind of our accent. In fact, we'll probably do orange for this part of the tail here. There we go. I think by the time we're done, most of these lines will be covered up. But like I said, whenever I post one of these finished paint ones, people are like, oh my gosh, how? And I'm just like, I didn't film it, sorry. So if you are one of those that have been curious, this is how. It's not super quick. I definitely take my time with it, but I love these kind of teeny details. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit more of the purple here. I think I already said it already, but just as a reminder, Tuesday's times are going to be a little bit different, so just make sure that you have your notifications on. I'm thinking I'll probably start at 11:30 instead, but yeah, just make sure your notifications are on and then you won't miss it. Okay, that is all of the scales. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get our really kind of dark, well, I think it's just the violet is what it's recalled or referred to as. So we're just gonna get violet. Come over here, get some water, thin it out just a little bit. When you add water, it makes it so it slides a little bit easier. And then we're going to, let's see, let's add the mauve because it's kind of muted. We're gonna mix that in like so. Okay, and we are going to use that to start some of these shadows, okay? So let's go ahead and we're just going to lay in here. Okay, so if I remember correctly, this is here. So I know we're covering up some of them, but it was important for us to kind of, you know, set out where the different colors were going to be. Go. Let's do a little bit darker on that violet. It's not quite as dark as I want it to be. There we go. Yeah, see, I actually probably could have done just straight violet on it. Hang on, my phone's going off a bunch. I need to make sure it's not something I need to do. Okay, we're good. Put that over there. All right, so let's see. Then we're gonna have along that. Let's put a little bit under the head. Okay. Do a little bit here, not a ton. Okay. And then we're going to add some here where the tail sits behind. Okay, now we're going to clean our brush. Yeah, so exclamation point discard, there is a promotion channel where you can share all that stuff on there. Thanks, Durbin. Okay, so now I'm just using water to kind of soften that line. And then we'll re-emphasize the shadow and stuff on the individual scales after we get our main shadows in. Okay. And we will probably use a little bit of black. With paint, you have to be careful because with black, you know, a little bit goes a long way. Okay, so now we're gonna do a little bit here. And same here. Honestly, if I could do gouache in like the entire book, probably would. I'm definitely gonna do some more gouache pages. But like I said, it's definitely something that's a trust the process kind of deal. All right, let's get some of that. There we go. Then we're gonna go ahead, bring it down like so. And then I'm gonna look at my paintbrushes because I think I wanna get the slightly longer, tiny one to emphasize these scales. So for the shadow on the scales, let's do I want to do black? I'm leaning towards some black. So, oh, thanks, Jeanette. Thank you, Angela. Okay, so let's do a little bit. I'll show you what I'm doing with the black. Right? Yes, absolutely. Same. There's even times when I will like put my phone on do not disturb, just when I'm like, okay, I need to not hear social media for a little bit. It gets a little overwhelming. Okay, so we're gonna grab this slightly more kind of, it's sort of desaturated, but it's a little bit too black still, so we're gonna grab a little bit more of that purple. Actually, what that's kind of turning into is kind of perfect. Maybe just a little bit more of the black. Yeah, that's nice. And then let's grab a little bit, I think this was the berry. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I'm gonna clean this brush and I'm just gonna use this long one, partially because it's the newest paintbrush I have that's small. Oh, that's right, yeah. For the, let's see. And Shed Forest has a fox. Yeah, and this book has a small fox as well. Okay, so we're gonna grab this. It's long, but you can see it comes to a nice, fine, teeny tiny point, which is what we're gonna use now on the individual scales. I wish I could, oh, there we go. I zoomed in a little bit more. Okay, so now on the left-hand side of all the scales, see, I don't want to lose the definition in these ones. Okay. There we go. And we're going to blend that in. So again, this is a trust the process situation if there ever was one. Okay. So each of the individual little scales. Yeah, there's a lot of them. She's got pretty much a little bit of everything. Okay. There we go, a little bit there. Okay. Now let's do the other ones. Yeah, like I said, the only reason I'm using this paintbrush in particular because it is my newest one, which means I can get the finest point on it, but it's still a 0. I really just need to like buy size 0 paintbrushes in bulk. It's a little bit too much water on it at the moment, but it'll be okay because we're gonna kind of smooth everything out as well. All right, there we go. Okay. A bit more. Yeah, Fantastic Beasts. do the tail real quick. And like I said, if you didn't want to do something this fiddly with paint, pencil would also work brilliantly to kind of help the scales all stand out from one another. There we go. Almost done. Okay, we forgot to do the ones down here, so we're going to do those real quick. Okay. And we're going to be using just water to kind of smooth these lines out. I'll probably switch back to one of the shorter brushes. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to grab, let's see, let's do this one. This is the Princeton brush. Is this one good? Yeah, I think this will be good. So we're just going to use water now. Okay. And we're just gonna kind of smooth it out a bit. I feel like painting is something I can really kind of get in the zone with. Like honestly, this could be one of those ones where I do like a silent painting deal and I just go for it. Okay. Trying to clean my brush a fair amount in between so that I am not dragging like the warm purple into the cool purples. I think I want to do a different paintbrush. Let's do this one. This is one of the other purple ones. It's also a 0, but with a slightly shorter brush. Okay, and then we're going to re-emphasize the main shadows on her arms. Probably, honestly, use a little bit of black. It's just not, it's definitely something different than pencil. It isn't as clear cut. Sometimes you really just have to think about what colors you're blending together, how they're all going to work together, etc. Okay. There's a lot of animals, yeah. I'm gonna shake, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna blend that just a bit. Like I said, Corey, I believe, is live now. So again, if you guys wanted to go and hang out over there and watch me back later, that is just fine too. I promise my feelings will not be hurt. So what happens when I kind of do an off-the-wall kind of time for a stream, it's not the usual. So I don't want you to feel like you guys can't go over there. Not that you need my permission, but you know what I mean. Foot, insert, mouth. That's what's going on over here. Words are hard. Okay. So we're just softening those edges. And then we'll be live again tomorrow. As far as what we're going to color, I haven't decided yet. Okay. All right, so I definitely, oops, that was too much water. Let's go ahead and dry this a little. Oh, I'm trying to also make sure that there are no more like spots that are white on the scales. Okay, let's dry her a little bit before we have some black. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, gouache is fun. It's definitely a bit of a learning curve, but I find it a lot of fun. And the paper like hasn't even started buckling or anything. So Johanna's uploading a video, right? Because she's not doing lives. So I'm probably, of course, I don't know if she's doing like a premiere where she'll be in chat. Of course, I think she's releasing on Facebook, isn't she? I just know that it's video uploads. So I'm not entirely sure what time she's doing that. She going that? Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure she's got pre-made video uploads. So we're just doing more black here with just a hint of that purple, which is why, because I thought about that too when I was scheduling everything, because like, oh, I don't want to, you know, overlap so on. But yeah, I'm pretty sure she's uploading. Okay, so now I'm going to use that kind of stronger black so that I can make sure we have these nice high contrast shadows that will help her kind of, you know, separate her arms and, you know, from her body and those scales, since it's a lot of the same kind of stuff. Okay, so there's the black there. Then we're gonna do there. How long have we been live anyway? It's 11. We've been going for about an hour and a half, right? Oh my gosh, it is taking us forever on this. When I say we'll go till she's done, we might we might have to wait and see. Yesterday we did 3.5 hours, and I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty pooped after that 3.5 hours. Okay, let's see. Let's blend it just a little bit more. Kind of going up, so I'm pulling the lighter color into the shadow rather than pulling the black down into the lighter color. That's a little bit better. Okay, let's add a little bit more of the black. It's like my brain just like keeps going, and then when we're done. Yeah, it's really not. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, I definitely don't want everyone to get bored, but that's the thing, is like people are like, oh, you did the gouache, it's amazing, how'd you do it? It's like, well, you really want to know? Takes a little while. It's definitely a process. Okay. Okay, I think I'm happy with that right now. Like I said, the face is not done. Right now it's like it's too quiet, but we're gonna do the other stuff and then we'll probably come back to the face. Ooh, drop the brush. The face last. So let's do some more purple. Okay, let's grab some of that violet. We're gonna use a little bit of that lighter violet that we created earlier. And going to bring it up along here. It'll look super cute when it's done. We just got to get there. Okay. Okay. All right, a little bit there. And then we're gonna come here. I don't know if my head is in the stream or not, but I'm kind of leaning at a different angle. Okay. And then here. Oh, I went out of line a little bit on that one, but as long as your paint is still wet, you can kind of fix that just a little bit, because we're going to be putting the orange on top, and that's one of the things that I love about it, is we're going to layer it on top so you won't even see that. All right, so let's get our slightly warmer purple for this one. I am currently using a 0 at the moment. Okay, let's get some of this purple here. It's a little bit of a warmer purple, but I want it lighter as well. A little bit more. You see this, because it's been out, this white is starting to dry already. Okay, there we go. So that's a nice light purple, and then they'll get blended in together with it. So now I'm just gonna drop the color here. I'm not blending it yet. I'm just getting the color placed. Okay, and it's gonna come on up. Same thing with over here. We're doing all the purple now so that we can use all of our blended colors before it dries too much. Okay, might do a little bit of darker purple there where the tail overlaps it. We're not going for hyper realistic by any means. It's like a magical little dragon, but if you want to stay consistent with your shadows and stuff, it's always nice to have a general direction that you want to keep everything. Aw, thanks, Dee. All right, so we're going to clean our brush completely now. Okay, get a touch of water, dab there, and now we're going to go over here and we are going to start in the darker part first. Okay, and we want to, meant to cover there. Like I said, you probably won't go out of the lines, but I have a tendency to do that quite often. But I just find that gouache is so forgiving because of the way that you can layer it. So I'm trying to make it so you guys can see it too. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to blend over here as well. Okay. Then we're going to blend here. Same with there. Oh, and I didn't bring that purple all the way to the edge. Hang on, we're going to grab a little bit of that for there. Okay. All right, now we're going to do a blend here. Like I said, that little pumpkin took me less than a half an hour, but it was a little pumpkin too. And it's also different when I'm streaming versus just doing it by myself. Okay, let's see. We'll fine tune everything once we get all of our colors down as well. So now we're going to focus on getting some of the orange portions out. So for our orange colors, we have on here, we've got some apricot. I think we had a pearl apricot. We've got this almost like sunflower orange. We've got, you know, true orange. We got kind of red orange. I think that was apricot or peach. Maybe these were apricot. But the point is, we have a little bit of a variation. We're going to start, I think, with a muted lighter orange and then go in darker. So let's grab some of this one. Okay. I'm going to grab some of this one. Okay, let's grab some of the pearl. I'm pretty sure that was like a pearl apricot. But I don't want to have it like start out as like a peach. So let's see. Let's grab a little bit of this kind of true orange color. Yeah, that's closer. Let's grab some more of the pearl. I think, you know what we need? Well, we do have this cream. That might work. I want to get just a little bit of yellow in this. There we go. That's closer to what I wanted. Okay. So that was a mix of like 4 different oranges and a little bit of yellow. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let's start on the left-hand side so we don't bring it all the way across. So we're just doing our base color right now. And actually, you know what? We're gonna use that longer brush that can be a bit more precise, because if I can avoid going over the purple, it's fixable if I do go over the purple, but if I can avoid it. And I apologize if you're getting dizzy, but I am going to turn my page here. When I'm painting, for me, especially because I have a tendency to shake, my biggest key to being successful at this is making sure that my wrist is comfortable. If I'm straining my wrist, then I am shaking even more. So I probably turn my book a lot more often when I'm painting. Or, you know, the paper or the canvas or whatever it is that I'm working on. Okay. And we can always try and mix up a little bit more too if there's not quite enough. It's nice to mix your full batch first, but I have a tendency to not mix quite enough. Now this is just our light color. I think it'll definitely be a richer orange by the time that we're done. Now, although complementary color of purple is yellow, we're doing purple and orange. Like this is almost kind of like a yellowish orange, but, and I swear it looks so much more yellow for your guys, but it looks more orange in real life. You know, I'll post a picture of it when we're all done with it. But yeah, since we're going for Halloween kind of colors, it's nice to, you know, you could do black. We chose orange, but yeah. Okay, a little bit more. And we're gonna do enough layers that this purple that I accidentally went over, that's gonna get completely covered up. Also, my water is looking fairly purple, but I can tell it's not affecting my colors on my palette. If you feel like you're not getting the color you want, changing your water can help. Oh, fun. Turn around on my lap, yeah. My biggest issue I had when I got them spiral bound is because I turned my book so much, the perforation for the pages ended up like ripping out, and I was just like, okay. Or when I flipped it around, I would have it on the table and I ended up getting pencil bits. So for me personally, my coloring style does not like it when it's spiral bound. It wants me to lay it flat, but yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I know that Shannon spiral binds hers pretty frequently. Okay, let's see. Let's do this same orange in the ears. I want to try and keep that same shape there. Right now we can see the black lines, but once we go over with more colors, it should go away. Okay. And we're gonna do the other ear, and we'll choose the color of the apples and the flowers and everything once we get the main colors of the dragon. The colors that we choose for that will end up being whatever we end up with the dragon, because we'll want to choose like a balance between the two. Okay. Oop, I did too much water on that one. When you can see that it kind of bubbles and sits on top, then that's probably too much water, but that's why I'm moving to this next one, because I wanted to have more of that water out before I started to try and drag this around. I went over on the purple just a little bit, but we're gonna have more to add to the purple, so it's okay. I'm actually taking some of what I left on that part of the wing and using it on the other ones. Now, I have this thinned out quite a bit with water because I'm wanting this particular color to last longer, which is why it's not really covering up any of the black lines, but we'll get there. Bye, Tammy. Thanks for being here. Yeah, because I got Lost Ocean and a Secret Garden spiral bound. Or no, sorry, Enchanted Forest. I did get a Secret Garden spiral bound, but it was my very first Secret Garden before Johanna got the really good paper for her books. Okay. There we go. All right, we got those wings. Now we're going to go ahead and do the belly. And actually, I think we'll do the leaf part of, or you know, this part of the tail in orange, but I think we'll do the feet like right here and this part of the tail a different color. So we'll focus on the tummy for now. Oh, I realized that probably should have been, okay, we're going to fix that. That probably should have been purple right there because it's got these lines showing the edge. Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, more of the orange. Okay, and hang on one second. Just going to check something real quick. Yeah, it looks like Corey is doing the pumpkin. So I'm actually gonna put her, you guys can't see her, but that way I can, oh, I just got paint on my curtain. Okay, there we go. Oh, she's doing multicolor on hers, that's pretty. Okay, so we're gonna grab this one. Oh, it looks like she's doing a giveaway for it too. What is she giving away? I don't know, I have to look. Okay, so we're just gonna keep going around. I love that pumpkin though. Like, I know I've seen a lot of people do them, and I think that's the only reason I haven't done them is because I've been seeing a lot of people do them. Yeah, they're super cute. Not get in the way, occasional design goes into the spine so you won't lose any religion. Yes, absolutely. And I think that's one of the things that she has been keeping in mind is she did hear the feedback of people like, hey, it's really hard to color in the spine, or, you know, I don't want to lose the picture in the spine, that kind of thing. So a lot of her newer books aren't in the spine. Okay. All right, we're almost done with this orange. Do behind the basket. Okay, so this was just our base color. So now we are going to a blue one. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's for when it came out too, right? So it's Halloween, so it makes sense. All right. So what I want to do now is we're just going to take our straight orange, which that's literally all it was on the tube, was just orange. And that's what we're gonna start using here. I'm gonna put it over here so I can kind of dab my brush so I'm not doing too much. Okay, so we're just gonna go straight orange because I definitely want this to be more orange and less yellow orange, which I swear it looks more yellow orange for you guys than it is in real life, but we're gonna roll with this. So to kind of give it a little bit of depth, we're gonna be adding that orange there. Okay. And we're definitely going to be doing a shadow color, which we may use a little bit of brown on that. But this paper is getting wet enough that here in a second, I'm actually going to go ahead and dry this so that it paper doesn't buckle too much. So yeah, let's go ahead and dry this real quick. Okay. Let's see. It's a little bit wet still. Okay, we're gonna leave that being. We're gonna work on the wings while we wait for that to dry the rest of the way. And like I said, we're not mixing any color. This is just the straight orange out of the tube. So I'm gonna turn this again while we do this left wing. I apologize if I'm making anyone dizzy. Okay, so we're gonna bring that right along there. Okay. There we go. Grab some more orange for the next one. I think too, we're gonna add some lighter texture color to this, which I think will be fun. And we may do white for it. We'll see. We're gonna get creative with how some of these colors are laid down. There we go. Okay. Get some more of that orange. So yeah, this definitely answers the question for those of you that were curious about wet medium in the books. I did do a reel on it the other day, but if you're like, I don't know, this is definitely an active active thing here. Okay, so we are going to be blending that together, but for now we are just getting the orange down. So let's do her ear here. Ear, horn, what would you call these? Cute little dealy bobs? Okay. There we go. And I'm gonna go up that wing. Let's see. I should probably do it on the other side actually. Should be fine because we'll blend it all through. That's one nice thing about gouache. It is surprisingly forgiving as far as paint is concerned because you can reactivate it and you can layer on top of it. There we go. Okay. Let's see. I was going to ask whether you've put gesso on the paper, and if not, is it buckling? I haven't. In fact, I've never tried putting gesso on it, and at this point, it's not really buckling. If it's doing any buckling, it's from the heat of the paper, but it helps that it's right within the spine. But I feel like the pigment would have a harder time sticking if we did gesso beforehand. Oh, is that the one that she's coloring? Oh, Destiny. That's great. I'm going to do that too. I wasn't sure which one she was coloring. I didn't even look. I need to look in the email. Thanks, Megan. Yeah, she's coming along. We're getting some progress on her. We're nowhere near done, she said, after they ended up going for 5 hours. Hey, you guys cool if we stream for 5 hours today? Because honestly, if it means we can finish this one, and then you guys can see the whole process from beginning to end. Okay, so next up, I want to do I want to do gold? Because we can't always grab more colors. Right? We're just gonna keep going. See, normally I wouldn't because you know, I think we need to bring in some brown. Normally I wouldn't. Wait, I don't want to use the dark umber. Hang on, I'm gonna grab the other ones. Normally I wouldn't because I have to go, you know, get the kids, and you know, I've got responsibilities throughout the day. But with the weekend, especially, of course, with the weekend especially, I have a bit more flexibility because Steve's home, so I don't have to worry. Let's see, burnt sienna would be good. I don't have to worry about getting the kids food or anything, or making sure, you know, because I don't want to leave them on their own for hours on end, but Steve is here, so I have the flexibility of just being here. And if I were to go and be like, hey, can I keep streaming? He would literally say, why are you asking me? Do whatever you want. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, we gotta do groceries today too. Groceries are so fun. Okay, so we're gonna do burnt sienna. Okay, there we go. Hey, the kids need lunch. Well, Steve, I was just telling them that you will make the lunch. All right, guys, you're coming with me to the kitchen. We're gonna paint and we're gonna make sandwiches at the same time because, you know, we're skilled like that. All right, so we're gonna do the, what was that? That was the burnt sienna. He really is. He's amazing. Okay, so burnt sienna. Okay, it's pretty dark, so we're gonna blend it through with the oranges, but I wanna start adding that kind of high contrast color. Okay. Like I said, of all the paints, I love how quickly gouache dries. I love that it reactivates. I love that you can layer on top of it. Like, honestly, I'm going to be hard pressed to go back to watercolors. Well, and it's so nice to be able to share because, let's see, I don't want to use the long one for the blending. We're going to use the shorter one because, you know, I have been so into gouache in these last few months. It's so nice to be able to find a way to translate that into the coloring book so I can share it with you guys. Okay, so I'm just blending. That's burnt sienna. And we'll probably add a little bit more orange on top of it as well. So we're going to blend that through. Okay. Then we're going to do same thing here. Sometimes with the darker colors, especially if I'm going on a really light color, I don't let it sit too long before I blend it in with the others. Mangy Steve. Hun, can I call you Mangy Steve from now on too? Actually, no. Steve got a haircut yesterday. He's not mangy anymore. Not that he was mangy beforehand, but yeah, he got a haircut. Plus, he's going to do the grocery shopping today, so we're nice to Steve today because I don't like the grocery store. It's loud and it's overwhelming and I don't like it. No, Steve's wonderful for that. He usually does the grocery shopping on the weekends. He's just really efficient, and I'm the kind of person that's so scatterbrained. By the way, I'm just going back and forth with this burnt sienna and water. I'm so scatterbrained that 9 times out of 10, I end up having to like come back for things. Like I'll be on the other side of the store and I'm like, oh wait, I gotta go back to produce. You know, like it's a constant back and forth, and he's just so efficient. He can literally do the shopping in half the time I can. I try, I really do, but it's just like so much input. Like I'm an extroverted person, and no one was surprised with that statement. But I don't know, ever since COVID, I'm like a extroverted introvert, if that makes sense. Oh, that's nice. Honestly, I'm feeling fine now. I had my coffee and I'll probably go eat something after this, but I'm more anxious because, well, not anxious in a bad way, but like anxious as in excited to get this particular one done because I want you guys to be able to see it from beginning to end. Unless, of course, you guys get sick of me. Then I'll be like, I'm sorry. I'll stop punishing you and I'll come back tomorrow. Okay, so now... Okay, so now let's see. We're going to grab this one, and we're going to grab the Burnt Sienna. Ooh, Worlds of Wonder by Johanna. I love it. And hi, Haley. How are you? Okay, so we're going to bring the Burnt Sienna down here. Steve, will you make a note to remind me when I'm done to work on a schedule of streamers? It's embarrassing. I shouldn't have to be like asking everybody all the time. Like I should be able to remember, but my brain's like a sieve. It just falls straight through. Thanks, Alex. Okay, let's grab a little bit of our orange and we're going to dry it here in a second because I can feel the paper is starting to get a little bit rough, which tells me it's in the early stages of starting to break down. So when you start to feel that, that's a sign that you need to limit the amount of water and make sure that it is thoroughly dried before you move on to your next color. Your paper will last just that much longer when you do it. See, she's coming together. She looks like she's got a fiery little tummy. Okay, we're going to dry this real quick. Okay. You can usually feel when it's dry. Now, if your paper is really wet, one of the things that you can also do to help it dry faster, thank you, is actually turn the page over, and I'm going to do this so it can be centered because I've got like paint here and there's just like only so much room. So our little dragon friend is right here. So one of the other things you can do is you can turn it over and you can use the heat gun on the underside. Because here's the thing, right now I could still color on this no problem. But if I start to break down the paper on the other side, if I don't bust a hole in the paper, you're going to get this weird kind of texture when you color. But also, if you do bust a hole, it's going to affect the other side. But that's also part of the reasons why I usually get multiple books of this. Okay. Bring that back over there. And then, yeah, I need to try and remember what colors I used on that. Okay. Let's get her centered again. There we go. Hi there, fella. Okay, so now let's grab our orange, a little bit of that, okay, and we are going to add just a bit there, and then we're going to use our water to sort of blend it, okay? So I'm going to go ahead. We're just, like I said, this is part of the reactivation of the pigment. We're just kind of moving it around a little bit. Did I finish my coffee? My coffee was just sitting here. I got so wrapped up in it. Hang on. Oh no, it's cold. It's cold. Okay, it's all right. That just means since I didn't drink the whole thing, I can have more later. I know I could heat it back up, but it's not the same. Guys, I was so wrapped up, I completely forgot about my coffee. Not many things can make me forget about my coffee. So it's impressive. Okay, but I do have my water with me, so that'll be fine. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I'm really liking how that's coming out. But we definitely need to work on her tum-tum a little bit here. I actually want to get one of my slightly bigger brushes. I think this one, or... No, we're going to do this one. Okay, so both of these, so this one is a size 4, this one is a size 3, but the shape of the brush is a big reason why I'm using this. So you can see that, you know, they're both well-loved brushes, but this one has a little bit more of a point than this one, and it's a little bit shorter. So this one is stiffer, this one is softer, and I want a little less bend in my brush than on this one. So this is a 4, this is a 3, and the bristles are shorter, so this is the one. It's really not, and I know like some people like iced coffee. I cannot bring myself to do iced. You see, it's been well loved though. I don't know if you can see like the one hair that's like sticking off here. I'm telling you, I just need to buy like paintbrushes all the way from size 1 to 3 in bulk. That's what I need to do. All right, Steve, I need bulk paintbrushes for Christmas. And I don't get any, like, all of mine are synthetic. I don't have any of, like, the fancy squirrel hair. I don't really want to use, you know, squirrel's actual hair because I don't really want to do that. But also, like, the synthetic ones work just fine. Especially when I end up defaulting to, like, I know people like to use, like, the sable ones and whatnot because they hold a lot more. But, like, with the way that I do my paintings, like, the detail brushes are what I want. Okay, so now we're going to get some of that orange, just the straight orange. Actually, we're going to use the little one for that because I'm going to go over the edge if I do that. Okay, so we're going to get the straight orange. Okay. And I'm going to go along this side here. And we're definitely going to need to put some shadow where she's holding her little, I think we'll color it like a cauldron. And then make the little things she's carrying like little treats since we're making a Halloween dragon. Okay. So a little bit of water. We're going to bring in that sienna brown again to work on our shadows. Let's see. I'm showing my teenager dragon. He said very impressive. How the heck did she do that? With a difficult time because I have a short attention span. Thank you, Alice's teenager. I appreciate that. Sounds good, Linda. Yeah, who knows? We'll see. We'll see where this goes. I really want to finish it. I don't usually have this kind of freedom to just keep going until we're done, you know? Okay, so we're putting some of that sienna brown behind the cauldron here. Trying to get as close as possible, but for whatever reason, it doesn't want to work. So let's see. A little bit there. Okay. And there. Okay, a little bit on the legs. Okay, and then like I said, we're going to blend this with some water as well. Okay. Aw, I love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a little bit of our orange. I love it. I know, whenever my kids tell me that, like, I'm cool, I'm like, yes, okay, now, please remember that for when you're a teenager. That would be lovely. But I love the relationship that you have with your kids, Alex, because, you know, they always want to hang out and, you know, I love your stories of home. Okay, so we're going to get just water and we're going to work on blending this just a bit. Okay. A little bit more water. There we go. Okay. Then we're going to blend this underside here. And I figured it'd be mostly brown, but I'm okay with that because it should be pretty shadowed under the little cauldron. Okay, so we're going to use our water here. And then blend it. That's the hope, right? Building those, using those building blocks now to try and cultivate that. Okay. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Okay, let's do the sienna on this other wing here. And yeah, we'll use the shorter 0, okay? Actually, no. We're going to use the slightly longer 0. And we're going to get that sienna brown, okay? And we're going to just add in a little bit there. To get this to flow smoothly like this, you definitely have to add a little bit of water to your gouache. Okay, go. And here. Now we're gonna get our shorter 0. Thanks, Johanna. All right, we're gonna get our shorter 0 and get some orange. And we're just going to kind of spread that sienna brown out and just sort of soften the edge. Nice. Youngest son in London. Oh, Angela, I love that. Nah, you're good, you're good. Oh, seriously, that is on my bucket list. I'm gonna have so many of you guys to call whenever I make it over there. I'm gonna be like, ladies, I'm here for a week. Let's hang out. Even if it's just like a coffee shop where we all can meet and everything. Like, oh my gosh, what a dream would it be if it was like one of those meetups that Johanna sometimes does locally and we were all able to go and hang out. Like, talk about dream team. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Ultimately, what I'd love to do someday is to like rent a travel trailer and then just like spend a month and travel around the UK and go to all the places. That would be amazing, amazing. All right, we're gonna blend that, soften it just a bit. We'll add some more of the lighter orange on top if we feel like it's becoming a little too dark. Okay, but I'm just using water right now to kind of spread that around. Let's get a little bit more of that orange. Because there were still so many things just in Scotland itself that I didn't get to see. I want to go to the Loch Ness Lake. I want to go to Inverness. I want to go to Glasgow. There just wasn't enough time. We did spring break in Scotland, and it was just like a trip to remember. Absolutely. But if you did the travel trailer, then you wouldn't need to worry about like hotels or anything, you know? Okay, let's see. Let's get a little bit of that darker purple on here where this is kind of overlapped. Okay, just a bit. Okay, oh, that's too much water. Usually if I can see the water like beating up at the end of the paintbrush, I know it's not going to be as precise as I want it to be. Okay, and we're going to do the same over here. And we'll probably add a little bit on the other side too, just to help keep it consistent. Ooh, too much. Literal drop of water hanging off the end of the paintbrush. Okay. Hi, Blue. How are you? Okay. And we're going to do just a touch here. Okay. And we'll just kind of use some water to smooth that out. Okay. Am I happy with that? I think so. I think so. And I think I want to go really dark. Oh no, look at that. Okay, hang on. The thing of it is with gouache, you can thin it out some, but it's not ever going to fully go away. So if we ever truly smear it, we can like dot on. I'm going to make it lighter. We're going to dot on some white at the very end. Or it won't really matter if we end up doing a background. Oh, yeah, I've heard of them. Oh, I love that, Jeanette. Oh, hang on, chat. 1 second. One of the kiddos came in. I'm mute for just a second. Okay, you guys, she has a craft she wants to show you. She made something.
It's a turkey.
Oh, wet paint.
Oh.
Here,
we'll zoom in. Colorful turkey now.
Okay, now hold it above the dragon. There you go.
It's a turkey.
Let's see, is it gonna go in focus? Hang on, I'm gonna let it go in focus. There we go. Oh. Isn't it cute?
It took like 3 hours.
That's beautiful. I love it. I feel like that's like, it could be like a ride on TV. See, everybody loves it.
Yay. I named him Sir William III.
Sir William III. I love it.
Bye, chat.
Clearly, we like naming things. I feel like she's like a Peggy, maybe. Oh my gosh, I have some sienna brown there that I never did anything with. Oh my word. Okay, we're gonna grab some of this orange. Oh, I love that, Jeanette. Oh yeah, because you were at the river. You were at the river. That's awesome. Okay, hang on. I realized we completely spaced the sienna brown right here. There we go. Okay. And then we're gonna smooth that out just a little bit. No, she's definitely my crafter. Okay, so let's do a little bit more of the orange, and I want to do it because we've kind of ignored, let's use other, we've kind of ignored that handle. So we're gonna grab a little bit of the orange. Okay. So we're gonna do, I don't think we'll do the full sienna brown, but definitely a little bit of variation there. Okay, that's good. All right, let's see. I feel like we could zoom in more. Are we all? There we go. Okay, so next, yeah, let's do her little hands, feet, and this part of the tail. Oh, you know what? I said I was going to do orange for that tail. Hang on. Let's do that orange first, and then we'll go to it. So we're going to grab some of this lighter orange we had earlier. It's still kind of dried on the palette, so I'm just touch of water, and that'll give us just enough for that tail. Sounds good. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of orange there. Okay. Then we're gonna grab the actual orange. Okay. Then we're gonna do just a little bit there and there. Okay, and then we're gonna clean the brush completely. And we're just gonna kind of smooth that out. Oh no, there's a huge drop on it. Ah! That's what happens when I'm mildly distracted. Here we go. Okay, I just dried my brushes completely and just absorbed it a bit. There we go. Like I said, we can always use a little bit of the permanent white if we don't do a background, which I wasn't planning. Look at that, I just went out of the line. We can always use a little bit of the white just to touch up around the edges. There you go. Good enough. Good enough. We'll touch it up later. It's always, you know, risk when you do these, you know, wet medium. Okay, let's take a little bit of this purple, and I want to put it right there where I feel like that should have been another scale. Okay, so now, what did I say? Oh yeah, we're gonna do the darker parts there. So we're definitely gonna do some black. We have some of this black and purple that we mixed up here. So I'm actually gonna take some of this straight up violet. I'm gonna put it in the black, and you can still see that it's pretty violet on there. We're gonna use this as our main color, and then we'll use straight black to go ahead. Clocks. Oh, our clocks went back last night. Oh, right. So what time is it there for you guys right now? Sounds good, Yana. Thanks for being here. Because it is 11:52 a.m. Normally you guys are like 6 hours ahead. Okay, so we're just gonna fill in the hands and feet with this. Clean the brush. Okay, and we're gonna pull some of that out. I don't want it like a straight black on there, but I do want it to be darker. We will, however, use black to add our shadows for it. Okay. Then we're gonna go here. Same color here. That actually came out kind of lighter anyway, so that's fine. Okay. Okay. Then we're gonna do a little bit here. And I'm definitely feeling like this is grass underneath of her, but it almost seems like mildly puddle-ish. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and just lift some of it just a bit. When we get the black on here, it's gonna be a lot more obvious that what we're doing on the feet isn't black. Not to mention we'll have this cauldron that'll be black as well. Okay. So we're just going to bring this all the way up. Bring some of that dark purple. Okay. There we go. Ooh, almost knocked the water. Okay. Then we're gonna do this on the tail. All right, okay, let's give it a quick dry real quick. Okay, just giving a little dry. I gotta start thinking about what I want to do with the flowers, but I'm not entirely sure yet. All right, so we're gonna get the longer number 0 here, and we're gonna get some black. Make sure I don't have like a big glob of it at the end. Okay. And we are going to kind of outline what our shadows will be for that one. More of that black. It's gonna go under here. Okay, same thing, grab a little bit more. Okay, and then we're gonna do the little hands. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna do this tail as well. Nice, Angela. Yeah, I said the other day that we're losing an hour, but I forgot we don't lose an hour. It's spring forward, fall back. So we're getting an hour this time, right? All right, we're gonna do a little bit more black on some shadows. So we're gonna do just straight black here. I'm using that slightly longer number 1. Okay. Then we're going to do it here. Okay. There we go. We're going to smooth that out just a touch. Okay, with just water. Nope, too much water, too much water. Like I said, if it beads on the paper, I know that I went a little bit too heavy. That's a little bit better. We can also get some of this purple if we want to. Hang on, I need to use the shorter one. I'm accidentally depositing too much water. Okay. There we go, just kind of smooth. And like I said, you can always do gouache just as like the base coat and then use pencil on top of that. Give her a nice purple glow. I could for sure. I think any of that I'm gonna have to like wait until she's completely done and then be like, all right, what do I need to do to fix this? Okay, there, let's see. All right, we're gonna do a little bit more black over here. Okay. Water, a bit more black. Joys of grandchildren, right? I mean, I don't have them yet, but I can only imagine. I mean, I got my kids. That counts. Okay. So then we're just using water to just smooth the edges here. Okay. Let's do a little bit of black on the arms. Okay. Oh, didn't get off there. Hang on. Okay. A little bit there. Oh, went over just a little bit. It's okay, we'll shape that. Shape it. We're giving her a little extra arm there. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's cool. All right, now we're going to do... was when they went home with someone else. Well, that works too, because, you know, you have your kids and then they grow up and then you get to have their kids, but just for the fun parts. Like, there's a reason the grandparents like spoiling the grandkids. Okay. It was really nice when my parents were here because the kids were able to go and spend an entire day with them, which was good for them too because they don't usually get to spend that much time with them. Okay. Go. Yeah, Yeah, see, she's coming together now. All right, a little bit of that black. We're gonna add it onto her face here. There we go. Exactly. Okay, so we didn't add any of the sienna brown to the ears yet, so we're gonna do that real quick. Yeah, my parents usually need a good solid nap after the kids are done visiting. Okay, so let's see, we're gonna do sienna brown right along the top of the ear here. Same thing there. Okay, then we're gonna get some of that orange. Okay. There we go. And here. Oh, it's noon. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we've been going for 2.5 hours. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, that's fair though. Kids are expensive these days. I mean, groceries alone for us, for a family of 4, is not what it was when I was a kid. That is for sure. Okay. Let's get a little bit, I want to mix up a little bit more of this lighter orange. So we're going to grab, actually we're going to do it with our shorter brush here. Oh yes, it's so good. I have a grand dog, I spoil rotten. See, there you go. Go adulting. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here, Alex. Okay, so this one I think was that apricot. So we're going to put that in there. Okay, we're going to grab some of this light yellow here. We're gonna grab some of this pearl apricot, I think is what it was. Okay, I think that's good enough. Okay, so now, and actually no, I want to clean this off and use the smaller, like the longer, thinner brush. Okay, so we're gonna grab some of that on here. All right, and we're gonna bring it down. There we go. And same thing on the other side. Just want to cover up a little bit. You know what I think we might do? Is I think we're going to use the straight, oh, got a little water on there. Some straight cream. Or what was it? It was maple something. But basically it's the really light yellow color. Okay, just a touch of water there. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and use that on the edge of the ear. Now we are going to be blending this a little bit with water, but I really just wanted that real kind of light color on the edge. Okay. So I want to cover up those black lines a bit. And then to keep it consistent, we're going to do the same on the wings so that we have those. Make sure I'm not putting my hand over anything wet. Okay, so I'm going to do this here. Don't worry, we're not just going to leave it as a yellow line. I will be blending it. Okay. There we go. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And here, a little bit more. Like I said, my goal here was to, oh, I went over on the purple a little bit. We'll clean that up. My goal was I wanted to eliminate these lines since we're doing gouache. Okay, so now we're gonna grab our shorter 0 and we're gonna just get a little bit of water and we're gonna soften that edge and blend it in with the other colors. And I just rested my hand on that. Okay, we're gonna fix that other one here in a second. This is why I can't have nice things. Okay, so we're just going to soften the edge of that one. Okay. There we go. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab that cream again, mess up, or not mess up, fix the thing I messed up. Okay. There we go, that's better. Okay. And we're just gonna use some water. And just gonna smooth that out just a little bit. Okay. And Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Let's see. Let's do. What do I want to add? Let's grab the kind of pearl lavender. It's a nice color. And I'm going to mix it with this very light kind of pearl green color. I forget what the color of it was. But the point is we're mixing two pearl colors together, so we're still going to keep that little metallic. Ooh, fun, Angela. Okay, so here's what I think I want to do. Actually, we're going to grab the other paintbrush. Thank you, Kathleen. Okay, so we're going to go back to this where we're mixing this kind of pearl and green pearl color. So we get a nice kind of light purple. Okay, and I actually want to add this kind of highlight on the edge of the scales. Because it's pearl, it's hard for you guys to see it now, but with the light catching it, it helps it to stand out a little bit as far as scales are concerned. Okay, so we're going to bring this right along. And that was that kind of pearl lavender and then the pearl light green as well. So then we're going to grab some more. Let's see, let's do the arm. Can't really see where some of the lines are anymore, but it's visible enough that I can make it work for this. Okay, a little bit more. Let's do that in there. It's pretty much going to do all down the right side of that. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I like that. That's shaping it just a little bit more. Right? Oh, yeah, it's definitely something I have to fight. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of the pearl here. I just want to make sure that the scales like don't disappear, you know? Okay. And we're going to do the ones over here as well. I would say it's always nice on the release week or, you know, within the first couple of weeks, there's never any shortage of Johanna stuff. Like there's, you know, obviously all the streams. Johanna usually does her sorts of releases. It's great. Okay, so now we're going to do more of the pearl and we're going to do the tail. Okay. So whatever, you know, whatever your fancy is, be it, whether it be page or medium use, there's such a wide selection. And I think that's one of the great things about the community is that nobody really has like the same style. So it's all going to be the same, or it's all not the same. It's all going to be different. Well, Renee, this is me talking you into pearl gouache. I love it. It's so pretty. Or just, you know, glitter all the way through. Okay, and we're going to do over here. Go. Okay. A little bit more. Okay. Am I happy with that? I think so. Let's see if we can do a little bit of this on the face. Because I imagine that she has some sort of scalage on her face as well, right? So I'm just mixing a little bit more of that kind of pearl purple and the really light green. And I think what I want to do is I want to add in some little texture. Not just like solid color, but a little bit of texture. And this is going to dry. Won't be standing out quite as much. And we can always dab it if it's too much, you know? Let's put some up on the ears here. Okay. Definitely need some on the wings. Okay. tips there. Just a little bit. Okay, then the medium itself. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, actually we're gonna use this one. And I am gonna dab these just a little bit. And we're gonna kind of thin it out and move it around just a bit. Like I said, gouache is great because it's very forgiving. You can layer over it, you can water it down, like there's so much that you can do for it. What I think I do want to do though is we are going to make her mouth and her eyes stand out because I feel like she's just sort of disappearing in all of this, you know? So we're going to get our black. Does it stay pearly when you water it down? A little bit, but not nearly as much. Okay, so we're going to do her little eyes here. Okay, remember she had little eyebrows. Plus she's got her mouth. When that dries, we'll put the tiniest little white dot on her eyes to give it just a little bit of depth. Okay, let's see. We may come back and add some more details like let's do her tail real quick while we're thinking about it. Okay. Is that her nose? That makes so much more sense now. I was trying to figure out what the line was on the bottom. Oh, you know what? Okay, hang on. That makes so much more sense. We're gonna thin this out just a little bit. I was trying to figure out what that line was earlier. I was having a moment, man. Okay, so I'm just using water and I'm lifting some of that black. It's not gonna be a big deal because we're gonna put purple on top of it. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, is it her chin? What do we got going on here? That makes so much more sense. Oh boy. We're doing good today. We're doing good. All right, we're gonna give that a dry real quick, okay? And we're gonna go over it with a little bit of purple. All right, so let's see. Let's do this purple here. Okay, bring in some of that purple just a bit. That makes so much more sense. Okay. This is where the layering comes in handy. Okay, so we're gonna leave it like that. Trust the process, okay? Now we're gonna dry this later. Harsh lines where it gets really dull. If it's getting dull, you might be using too much water. Try having your paintbrush just be damp. And then if after you're done blending it, if you're just like, oh, that's still like too much, then that's when you can add another layer on top. What would you do without me? I'll probably have to fix it. It would have been a really kind of, the anatomy on mine would have looked different than everybody else's. Ooh, liquid pearls. Yeah, because that's what Renee was just saying, right? Okay, now we're gonna grab this light purple. Now I dry it in between so that I'm not moving around that pigment that I already put under there. We can layer enough of it on that I think it'll work. I feel like I need to get the other book. Real quick, get one of the other books and I need to look at the face itself. Hang on, we're gonna fix this face. Okay, hang on. So I wanna make sure I get the placement of her mouth right. There it is, there it is. Okay, so we've grabbed a second book here. That makes a lot more sense, Renee. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Oh boy, see, this is also why I live stream, so you guys can help me out when I fudge things. Okay, so we're gonna get a little bit of this darker purple. We're gonna make this work. We're gonna make this work. All right, so let's go ahead. Do that there. That one there. Yep, that makes more sense. I've made her nose really huge now. Okay, let's get our lighter purple again. Okay, I'm just gonna cover up the nose altogether. We're gonna redo the nose. But you see what we did there? We had a black nose and we have been able to cover up to where you don't even see it anymore. So the key to covering up something like that is that dark without smearing it everywhere is, that is true. That is true. Maybe she eats through her nose. But the key is to dry in between and just dab your layers on. You're not looking to spread it out. You are looking to layer on top of it until it goes away. But I mean, that was a full black line and we made it work. Okay, so now we're gonna grab, let's see, let's do a little bit more of that darker purple with that, okay? We're going to enhance the mouth. Let's get the darker purple again. Okay. Okay, we're making this work. Aw, thank you. All right, and now we're gonna grab like a little bit of a purpley black, not quite as intense as just black itself since it's her nose. Okay, so we're going to do a little nose. Okay, little. Oh, my hands are shaking. Okay, there we go. All right, but I do want to blend through the top of this, so we're going to grab that. While it's wet, I'm going to grab more of that darker purple. Yeah, right? A little bit better. I clearly was not on point with that. Okay, and we're just going to smooth that out. And then, hang on, I feel like that went up too high, so we're going to, like I said, this is a perfect example of how forgiving it can be. There she is, right? We got her now. Let's use a little bit of that darker purple. Okay, we're gonna bring that up just a little bit. Just a bit. Okay. And then we're gonna dry it. Let's see, things I figured out by accident. I learned that by accident and learned that Caran d'Ache blender sticks works well to blend the pan pastels and seal the... Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah. I'll have to try that next time we do that. Okay. Let's get a little bit more of this purple. Okay, and I'm just going to smooth that out. So much for that pearl we put there. Okay. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to put just a tiniest little highlight of the lighter pink on the tip of her nose here. There we go. Okay, we got it. I did an entire portrait in pan pastel, dropped my blender on it and made a mark, so I played with it and brightened and sealed it. That's amazing. Yeah. We'll definitely have to try that. Okay, so our black eyes have dried. So now here comes the fiddly bit. Okay, we're using our finest point paintbrush, which is the long point 0. Okay, and we are gonna get some of this permanent white. Okay, so it's already dried some just because it's been out here. So I'm gonna get that kind of wet. Okay, super fine point, right? Very much so, very much so. Okay, super fine point. No worries, Nathan, welcome. And gosh, if I could zoom in right now, I would. So if you see my head, I apologize. I want to look really close to make sure I get this. Okay. There we go. Was my head in frame? It probably was. Okay, tiniest little one. And I think we'll take some more black. Okay. Talk about tiny little spots. We're going to make her eyes just a touch bigger. I know my head's in the frame. Bear with. There we go. We got it. Well, that was a lot of excitement. The drama. Okay, I'm blending in just a little bit these two, just using water. Okay, okay, she's looking adorable. Stream's about 2 weeks ago. There you go. I want to add a little bit more shadow before we move on to the flowers. I just kind of want to finalize some of the little dragony bits here. So we're going to take black. And we're going to very carefully and slowly. You may be able to go faster, but if I go any faster, I am going to wobble all over the place. So we're adding a little bit of black to just up the efficiency of the shadow. Right, yeah, someone earlier said that, but that totally makes sense. Okay, let's see. For the shadow on here, it's actually going to go on this side since we're having them consistently be on the left. So that's going to go there. And it's going to draw down like so. There we go. Okay, let's add a little bit more shadow to the wings. Water there. Okay. So now we're going to, let's see, let's do it on the bottom side of this one. Okay. There we go. You see how that just kind of helps it to pop? Okay. I'm going to bring it up through here. I'm trying really hard not to shake. Really, really hard. Okay, and then bring it on up. There we go. And I'm actually going to put it on this side now. Yeah, that works. Okay, and then here we're going to put it on the left side again. There we go. Yeah, weekends are usually like our catch-up days. Okay. Go. This one, and we'll do just a little bit of black there as well. Okay, I like that. Yeah, that's really just kind of helped it to pop. Okay, now we're gonna do, I'm not gonna do the flowers yet because I don't know yet what I want to do. Thanks, Kara. Let's do the cauldron now, shall we? Unless, of course, you guys are getting tired and you want to call it and do this tomorrow. You let me know. All right, so we're definitely gonna do some black, but we're gonna start out with some grayish black. So I'm gonna grab some of this white here. We're gonna go over here. It's kind of a nice gray. Oh, there you go. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of black. Okay, and it's kind of like a, oh, you can't see it, but it's like a lighter gray of the black. We could probably go even lighter, actually. There we go, because we'll use the true black as like the shadow of it. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead. Okay, we're gonna put some of that gray there, some along there, bring it along there, and let's do some there. Okay, feet are gonna get the gray. Okay, a little bit there. All right, now we're gonna grab some more of the white and we're gonna get just a slightly lighter gray. And I can see I used quite a bit of water on this. The page is starting to buckle a little bit, so after we lay down this gray, we are going to be drying it before we blend anymore. A big part about using wet medium on pages, oh no, I went over it, is being able to read your paper and, you know, realize, okay, how is it holding up to all of this liquid? Okay. Let's get a little bit more of that for the handle. Okay. And then we're going to give it a quick dry before we blend everything, okay? Getting closer. Oh, wow. OBS is telling me we're coming up on 3 hours. And here I was like, oh, yeah, we're definitely just going to do 2 hours today. Yeah. I'll just have a really big lunch when I'm done. That's all. All right, gonna get a drink of water here. Okay, so now we're gonna grab the short O brush, not O, zero, zero, if that counts. Okay, and we're gonna use straight black. Okay. Here we go. And we're gonna grab some more here. Hang on, that didn't have enough water on it. It wasn't transferring. Okay, so now we're gonna do black there. A little bit there. A little bit there. Gonna go under here Okay, a little bit there, a little bit there. Okay, so now we're gonna clean our brush. Thanks, Angela. Honestly, I'm amazed it's holding together so well. Okay, so now we just have water. And we are going to be blending our colors here. Trying to keep separated the areas that I want to be the light ones versus the dark ones. Okay. So I'm going to do this. I almost wonder, like, despite the fact that I have tremors, like, usually they're, you know, they're not horribly terrible, but they're definitely triggered by things. But I almost wonder sometimes with the fact that I do this kind of stuff all the time, if it in some degree has trained my hand to not shake as much, or like I figured out ways to do it. It was like when I went to the neurologist and they were measuring it. Like he needed me to draw a spiral on the paper so he could see at what points on the thing that it wiggled the most. And it was usually at like 2 and like 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock that it would start to get the wiggliest. And he called it a positional essential tremor. So it is based on like how I'm holding things. But when I did it, I overcompensated, like I was holding my hand in a specific way, and that wasn't what he wanted. He wanted to be able to see where it shook the most. And he's like, okay, let's try this again. I'm going to give you another piece of paper, and this time don't try so hard. I'm like, oh, my bad. Like, you have to understand, like, I do this all the time. My hands just automatically go into compensation mode. Okay. All right, we're going to get some more black. Okay. Oh, got a little bit of water on there. Okay. There we go. The thing of it is even if I ended now, part of me would want to finish this page like a lot. So it's probably just better if I just finish it. Let's see. Let's use, we're definitely going to get some more, we're going to get some gray here. Okay. And we're going to do a little bit there. It's just a very, 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 very light gray at the moment. Okay. Then we're going to grab our short zero, our shorter brush zero, and we're going to kind of blend that in. Okay. There we go. Do a little bit of that on the rim as well. Okay, I think we'll leave that there. So let's go ahead and do our candies now. I know I didn't think to grab any blue for the candies, but honestly, I think we're just gonna work with what we have. So, you know, we could grab blue. Hang on, let's get it in. Ah, good. Yes, in good company for that one. Okay, so for the blue, let's do a sky blue because it's a little bit of a cooler blue rather than a super warm one. So sky blue, we're going to pop on our tray here real quick. And that is number A501. Okay, and we're going to use our shorter long brush, or our shorter zero size brush. Okay, this is just the sky blue. Oh my God, I almost went like this to zoom in. Okay, so we're gonna do the sky blue over here and here, and let's do one there. Okay, because we're doing little candies in it. Who knows what it actually is, but we're turning her into a Halloween little dragon. Let's get some of this like neon pink, most definitely, because it's awesome and it's gorgeous and I love it. Okay, the real trick will be we'll be able to tell if it's neon is if it reflects with a black light. Okay, so we're gonna do neon here. See if we can get more of that straight pigment rather than watered down pigment. I'm not sure if it's gonna cover up that line very well. Okay, so that one there and there. Okay, and let's do some green in there. Thanks, Steve. It's because I'm concentrating. I gotta get in super close. Okay, and then this one here is a fairly bright green. You're so helpful, Steve. Thank you. A round of applause for Steve. Okay, so now we're going to do the green here. There we go. Okay, once that dries, we're gonna do tiny little white highlights to indicate like a shiny Steve. Okay, for the flowers now, let's do slightly yellowish flowers, like they're kind of fall flowers, right? I mean, yellow is complementary of purple anyway. I didn't really grab too much yellow. Let's see, we've got bumblebee yellow. Let's see, Naples yellow is that really light yellow we used. Oh, here we go, lemon yellow. Yeah, I think those are our good yellows to work with. So let's grab, what do we want up there? Let's do the Yemen yellow, lemon yellow, and we're gonna mix it a little bit with our Naples yellow. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and add some of this bumblebee yellow on here too. It's A103. Yep, words are hard. You guys know me well. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna keep this kind of close here. I'll zoom out a bit so you guys can kind of see what we're working with. Okay, we're gonna do the shorter 0, and we're gonna grab this yellow, and we're gonna bring it over here. We're gonna grab the bumblebee yellow. Okay. A little bit more of the lemon yellow, because I definitely want it to be more yellow and less orange. I like that, actually. I think that's good. Okay, so we're not going to water it down too much. We're just going to start with a basic yellowish color, and then we'll add like almost a goldenrod for the color variation, because obviously we've got this spot in the middle, but I think that spot in the middle we'll do straight up lemon yellow. Or we could do like an orangey kind of middle to it. Let's get all the petals on first. Yeah, we might go orangey so that it's not clashing with the other colors. But I definitely wanted to go with like fall little flowers, you know? Okay, so, oh, that's not clean completely. Let's grab a little bit of, what do we want to do? Let's grab a little bit of the red orange. We actually haven't used that all that much. So we're gonna wet that real quick. Okay. Now it's still pretty wet, so we're gonna be careful. If I see that it's like moving too much, then we'll need to dry it real quick. Okay. They're probably gonna come out looking more orangey anyway, but that's fine. Now that I have the yellow on here, I'm not entirely sure that I feel like yellow is the right choice, but we're adding the red orange to it, so I think it'll work. Kind of a little bit of both. Okay, so let's see. Let's dry it real quick, and then we'll go ahead and move that orange around just a smidge. Oh, we never did add the sienna brown to the little bit of the tail. Okay. All right, now we're gonna grab our shorter 0 brush. Okay, I'm just gonna smooth that edge just barely. Yeah, it's definitely looking more orangey now, but I'm okay with that. I think it actually works a little bit better. And there's orange flowers. She's our Halloweeny dragon, so it's totally acceptable. Okay. There we go. Okay, then we're going to use our lemon yellow, which is a pretty bright yellow. Okay. A little bit more. And then we're going to need to let that dry before we do anything else with it. We do need to do the leaves up here, which we're definitely going to do it in a green. Let's see, what was this? This was a green, right? Yes, that was a green. Yeah, let's do this green color here, which is this one here. Okay, and we're going to fill in those leaves. Okay. There we go. It's pretty bright green color, so we're definitely going to need to darken it up just a bit. There we go. I'm trying to think of what was the longest stream I've ever done before. I want to say 5 hours. was the longest I've ever gone. Who knows? Maybe we'll beat that. Okay, there we go. All right, we're gonna dry this real quick because we do need to darken it up. Okay. Just for a second. The paper is starting to buckle a little bit, but that's because those little dollars of paint were very, very wet. Okay, so now we're going to take our longer number 0 and we're going to go in with this very dark green that we had here. Okay, and we're going to add a little bit of shadow to those leaves. I'm not mixing it with anything else. This is just straight color. Okay. Okay, and then once we have this on, then we'll use the shorter number 1 and kind of just blend it with some water. Just to kind of smooth out those lines a bit. And we may even add some of this pearlized, this sage pearl to the edge for a little highlight. Love it, Renee, love it. You're gonna get your square filled in no time. Let's see, that was not enough water, hang on. Okay. Just reactivating it enough to kind of just move it around. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to take our longer 0, get them all at once. D, I love that. We've got a few that have some really high points that haven't purchased anything, and I'm almost wondering if that's what they're waiting for. That would be so much fun. Just get it all down all at once. Okay, so this is the Pearl Sage Green that I'm using right now. It's this one right here. And I just want to get a little bit here. Okay, and on the right-hand side where it would be the lightest, just adding a little bit. Okay, now for the inside of that, we did that lemon yellow. Yeah, maybe. Lemon yellow. If you guys want to see the top ranks for points, now granted that's not points of all time. That's currently what they have saved. When you type in !loyalty on the right hand side, as long as you're logged in, I think you have to be logged in, you'll be able to see what it says. All right, so I want to do, I think, could do gold. Hang on, I'm gonna get a drink of water, but I'm actually thinking something lighter. Let's see. Let's do, what do I have here? Oh, yellow ochre. I don't think I have yellow ochre. Yellow ochre could be exactly what we need. We could do the gold. Let's try the gold first and see how much it stands out. And we're also not done with these candies yet. I was letting them dry just a bit. Okay, so we're gonna grab the gold. Kind of get that activated with some water. Okay, it's just straight gold. Okay, and I'm just gonna do, we need a little bit more. A little bit more. Okay, so we're gonna do some little dots. Okay, so the gold isn't standing out from the lemon yellow enough, so we're actually gonna go ahead and move on to the yellow ochre. Okay, so this is A105. I know I do. Well, that wouldn't be very fair. Okay, so this yellow ochre, for whatever reason, some of the color in it has separated. So depending on how you want to use it, we're just doing little dots, so I'm not too worried about it, but there you go. Do you see kind of the streakiness in it? So, and it's this one here. But we're just doing the dots, so it's not a big deal. But if you were doing it on your own, I would say mix it up if you're trying to match those colors. Okay, so now we're gonna do the yellow ochre, all right? And a little dried piece. Okay, and we're just gonna, yeah, that's what I want. We're not gonna do dots all the way over it, but we're gonna do it on the left-hand side. Okay, here we go. All right, and then I think we'll do just a few dots of sienna brown, which is hilarious because like I only chat on occasion when like I need to put a link in or something. So I find that so funny. Okay, so sienna brown. Okay, just a little bit. Okay. I think I'm happy with that. We can leave that one there. Okay, so sienna brown, and then let's work on the candies, and then we'll do what she's standing on. Okay? Yeah, with the question of the day and polls, exactly. Oh man, I can get a square. I feel like that just would not be fair because like I got these charts for you guys. I don't want to use them up. Hang on. Of course, I know I might need to save up for the embroidered one. I could totally embroider my name. Okay, let's see. For the slight shadows on the candies, hang on, I got a little bit of blue on that. We are going to do that, but I'm not going to bother with like mixing a lot of different colors. So we're just going to do a slight difference in color. So let's grab ourselves like a darker blue because I don't have much blue on that one. I have the sample one that I made that has little Emily's name on it. Does that count? Let's see, cerulean blue. No, let's go with Aegean blue. And then for the hot pink one, do we have this one out already? Rose. Yeah, I think we have rose already. And for the green one, we've got a dark green. Okay, we're good there. Okay, so let's do Aegean blue. Okay, and we're just going to put it... hang on here, we'll zoom out so you guys can see what I'm doing. Oh, nope, that's in. There we go. I'm just going to put a little bit of the Aegean blue, like, yoink, back in this corner. Thank you, Kelly. You're good, Leanne. I'll probably take a nap after this, man. You guys got me running on adrenaline to finish her because she's just too dang cute. Okay, so we're going to grab the Aegean blue. All right. And we're just going to add just a slight color variation for the left side of the candies, and then we'll be doing like a little white highlight. Hi, Sensei, thank you. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun with her today. We're doing like a Halloween kind of style. Okay, and then we're going to get that rose. Okay, and we're going to use that on kind of neon candies. Okay, do another one for this one. And heck, if we could do the white highlight on those teeny tiny eyes, we can do white highlight on the candies too. Okay, so let's grab, let's see, we had the green one. So let's do this. It's just kind of, I don't remember the name of it, but this is the green we're using. Thing about painting is like, I can't really call out the name. So I'm gonna be like, find that sort of dark green one that's sort of dark green. And that'll work. Okay, so now we're gonna dry it real quick and then we'll use our permanent white for the teeny tiny little highlight, okay? So breaking out the heat gun. I always wonder, I thought about using a silver on the cauldron, but I don't think that's gonna work. Now we're doing a Halloween theme because Halloween is coming up, but you could totally turn this like into a basket or something. Right? They are so adorable, which is so ironic because if you watch Johanna's flip through, she was saying that her daughters were giving her a hard time about it because they looked like mice and not dragons. But I'm down with the adorable dragon. I think it's cute. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna get a little bit more white here. Okay. And we're just gonna do teeny tiny little highlight on the candies. There we go. Teeny tiny highlight. All right, now we have the ground. Now we are doing kind of like a Halloween style picture. So I think we should do a slightly, I do want to do green because, you know, we got the apple, we got the leaves, we got the flowers, but I want to do a slightly muted green, I think. Right? This one's got scales and wings. Dang, man, I don't want mice to have wings. Talk about nightmare fuel. Okay, so for the ground, we could do like a little bit of brown with just a, no, I feel like brown would not work good. We've already got some green for the flowers, so let's stick with green. This kind of almost blue-green that we have here is really pretty. I like it a lot. This one is the one that we just did for the dark part on the candies. That is true. Yeah, I'd probably be like, oh, you want a room? Okay, you can move in. Okay, so we're doing that kind of blue-green grass, and we're going to do that as the base color, and then we will lighten it up. So let's go ahead and just start with filling in the entire space. It's a little watered down, so it's not going to be as dark as it would be, you know, by itself. But we are just going to start with a basic color here. Okay, the hands are starting to shake a little bit. It's like, you've been at this for hours now. We're taking a break at some point, right? And you're like, get over it, hands. We're going to do whatever we want to do, and you're just going to cooperate. I'm not too worried about going over the leaves in the front because, again, with the way gouache layers, it's pretty forgiving for that. So we'll work with it. But what I can see is happening is that the paper is starting to buckle a little bit. So after we get this green down, before we do anything else, we're going to dry it. Because like I've said, drying in between is the key to helping these coloring books withstand wet medium much better. Okay. How are we doing on time? 3:18. We've been going for 3 hours and 18 minutes. I mean, it's only 12:45, but still. We went live at 9:30. And I mean, we're celebrating this week. So what better way to celebrate it than marathon streams? And the funny thing is at the beginning of the week when I was talking about this, I was like, oh yeah, sure. We'll just do like an hour a day so don't get burnt out. 3 hours later. Yeah, so we're doing more than an hour a day. I mean, Tuesday will probably have to be a short one, but we'll do like one of the small victories one. Okay, so that looks horribly uneven at the moment, but it's okay. Thank you, Kelly. Yes, a mouse with wings. I have to be stopping all Mesra. You're hallucinating. All right, we're going to get this completely dry, and it's wet enough that I think we'll turn it over. Thought for sure I missed you. Nah, we're still going strong. I mean, we're nearing the end of it, surely, because it's almost done, right? I hardly started. See, there you go. Okay, let's see. How's this feel? Feels a little damp. That word was going to get messed up real quick. So here, I'm going to turn this over real quick. And we are going to dry the back side so that the actual like wet under, because the paint feels dry, but I can feel that the page still feels damp. And the way you can usually tell that is like if the page feels cold, that means, especially after you've been blowing the heat on it, that means that, you know, underneath it's still pretty wet. Okay, yeah, so for like Tuesday, one of these small ones would be perfect. Okay, so we're gonna zoom back in. We're getting her. We're getting her. She's looking very cute. Let's go ahead now and grab, this is Pearl Sage. Oop, there you go. This is Pearl Sage Green. So I think this is what we're going to work with next. And we're going to do this in the front of it. All right. So now it will all kind of start to even out. Okay. Are we zoomed in all the way? Yes. Okay. All right. So now, which it's actually kind of coming close to the picture of like the watered down darker color. But what we're helping to do now is to get rid of some of these lines here. There we go. Yeah, I'm liking that. I know you guys can kind of see it through it, but we'll go a little bit heavier. This is another really good opportunity for kind of dabbing the painting rather than brushing it on. What am I coloring tomorrow? Oof, I don't know. I hadn't really picked yet because I kind of thought this was going to take us 2 days. I didn't anticipate that I was just going to be like plowing forward here today. So I don't know. I think after stream, I will take a flip through because I need to think about what medium I want to use. If we do anything with markers, it will need to be like, I'll probably do a water-based marker, which will mean that we'll probably do some pointillism. Just because I do not like blending with water-based markers, but I don't want to do alcohol markers on this because I don't want to ruin the pages behind it. So I don't know, you guys tell me. For the next page, let's do a quick poll. Okay, start a poll. Okay, next page, we'll do, yeah, these ones are artesian gouache, yeah. Next page, do we want to do markers or pencils? I'm leaning toward pencils because yeah, with the markers we'll probably do some sort of pointillism with it. And then based on what we decide to use, that's how I'll pick the next page. So I'll need to flip through a bit. I mean, we could keep going with the dragons, but I kind of think I want to do something a little bit different. Because then I feel like it'll be another one where we're doing like a full page. And I wanted to do, you know, yes, a full page, which we've done with the one on the other side here. But I think I want to do something different for the other ones. Okay, so that is the dabbed on sage green. Now we're going to do some more of that kind of regular green that we chose for the background. And we're going to do the back part of it kind of dark. So I am getting it a little bit wet. And you know what? Actually, I don't want to use this brush. I was using the number 3, but I think I want to go back to the shorter brush of the 0. Pencils, please. Well, I got oh yeah, it looks like pencils are winning. I'll need to look through and see what I haven't used recently. I try to kind of cycle through them a little bit so that, because I know not everybody has all the pencils, obviously. So I like to cycle through and use things that I haven't used in a little while so that everybody gets a chance to follow along with something with the supplies that they have. Okay, so we're just doing that green here. Okay. And I'm just using water now, and I'm going to blend that darker green into the lighter greens. Okay. Now we're going to blend this here. Got to be careful though, because I can see that the paper is starting to texture a bit, which is telling me it's getting a little bit too much water. So I'm trying not to stay in one spot for too long. Okay, so this is going to be darker, where it'll have a little bit of shadow where she's standing. Okay, going to get a little bit of water. Oh, I'm off screen. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I think we need to go ahead and dry it real quick. For whatever reason, I just went way too heavy on the water, and you can start to see like the fibers moving up. Sorry, guys. I get in the zone. Okay. I feel like I want to get some brighter green in here too, so we might do a little bit of like kind of a little bit of both. Okay. All right, we're going to take our shorter 0. Right, yeah, well, she doesn't really have a desire to do Halloween books. I know a lot of people have asked about it, but I think to help cater to that, she's done a lot of pages, you know, like the pumpkin page that can be interpreted as a Halloween page. Okay, so I'm using a slightly brighter green now, so I want to get that in there. So these areas where I hadn't quite blended it through, that's where it's going to get the green, so we can get some of this actual like kind of grassy color. I mean, at this point, we're definitely going to finish this today. We'll just keep going till we're done. That'll end up being like a 4-hour stream, right? We're at 3.5 hours now. Well, 3 hours, 26 minutes, but it's all good. Just kind of dabbing to sort of blend it into the other colors. Okay. Have that green again. And then we'll use the iron at the end to make sure that this is drying flat. Sounds good, Julie. Thank you so much for being here. I know that this has ended up being quite a bit longer than we anticipated. Like I said, I even told Steve, I was just like, oh yeah, it'll be 2 hours tomorrow. It'll be great. Nope. Okay, so let's see. Let's grab some more of that pearl sage green. So I want to blend it with this green like we did the other direction. Okay. We're going to get some of that darker green under these apples too to kind of show the shadows that it's casting. Right, Kelly's like, oops, my bad. Kind of went for 4 hours. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of that darker green. We need more water. We need more of that green. Okay, a little bit of the darker green here. There we go. Now we're going to lighten it just a, oop, too much water on that one. Just a bit. Thing of it is because it's pearl, you guys can't see it, but I'm leaned to the left because the light keeps catching the pearl in a way to where I can't see it exactly. So yeah, I probably look pretty funny right now. Okay, then let's get a little bit of that green, that kind of mid green we were using. Okay, and soften the edge of that really darker green. Okay. There we go, like that. Oh, I'm so glad, Sharon. Let's keep chatting and gouaching. We're fine, right? Now, I know the kids have probably had lunch at some point because I could smell Steve making something. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go back to that kind of darker blue-green. Only thing is I think he's waiting to go to the store until after I'm done. But we're almost there. We're almost there. So Steve, if you're watching, I'm just finishing this up. We'll be done soon. Okay. There we go. Okay, now we're going to grab the kind of mid-green that we've been using. And we might use some black too to kind of emphasize the shadow under the dragon. Okay, then he is. Facts. All right, now we're going to grab the pale sage green. And we're just kind of dabbing a little bit to blend with the mid green that we chose. Okay, now let's do just a little bit more of the mid green. Right? Yes, so close. So close. Part of the reason why I didn't do a background today is because I knew that I was going to get hooked on the details for this little dragon. Okay. All right, I like that. Now, before I do anything else on the ground, we're going to dry it and we're going to work on the other stuff. And I'm going to come back for the shadows after this is done because this paper is getting close to being like, I can't take anymore. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna let the rest air dry while we work on the apples. You're good, Dee. It's okay, I can speak autocorrect. All right, so now let's do the apples. We have a little bit of red, so I think we'll utilize that. Okay, I don't recall, I wanna say this was crimson red. Okay. So we're gonna do, more water for that one. Dry brush. Ah, thanks, Sunshine. All right, so we're gonna use the crimson red here. Such a pretty color for an apple, but we're not gonna do just the crimson red. Okay, so we're gonna do red on this side as well. Okay. Clean the brush. Now we're just gonna use the paint that's already on the paper and bring it across. All right. Then we're gonna grab, I can't remember the name of it, but it's like essentially a chartreuse kind of green, very bright green. Okay. That's gonna go there. Okay. All right, we're gonna get a little bit of this. I don't even remember what color this was, but it's like a cooler, real light green. Right, chartreuse. I love it because when the kids were younger and they said chartreuse, they added a lot of like CHs and they would say chartreuse. And so like, that's what I think of whenever I say chartreuse, and I love it. All right, so we're gonna use more of the chartreuse. Okay, we're just kind of dabbing it. You could probably use some more water. I'm definitely testing the boundaries of correct amount of water to use here. Because if I press too hard trying to like move it around too much, then I'm gonna start to tear up the paper, which I don't want to do. All right, a little bit of that chartreuse again. Yeah, the metallic and pearl. Okay. Bring in some of that red. I'm just kind of dragging it down along the bottom. We're going to grab our longer 0 because it's going to give me a super fine point for a little bit of extra detail of the red. Okay. So I'm going to bring that right there. Going to bring it down along because it's almost like they're like not quite ripe yet, right? There we go. Okay, clean it. We're just going to use some water now. Might have grabbed a little bit more water, but it's blending the way that I want it to. So I'm just going to have to be conscious if I feel the paper starting to get a little rough. Okay. Now when I'm blending it into, if I want more yellow, I'm going to be blending from the light to the red versus dragging the red into the yellow. There we go. Okay, I like our little apples there. Let's add just a touch of that wineberry color. It's nice and dark. Or is that, no, that's the burnt umber, but still, it's what we want. We're gonna do just a little bit on the side of the apple. Okay, and we're just gonna blend that edge. There we go. Okay, let's use some of the, let's do burnt sienna on the stem. Obviously, if it was bigger, we'd be adding more details to the stem, but I don't want to do the burnt umber because it'll be too dark, and I don't want to do green because it'll kind of blend in with the green background. And we're going to be adding a highlight to that apple once it dries as well. Okay, let's do a nice bright green for the leaves so we can stand out against the bright green background. Or not bright green, but the, you know, the grass. I don't like, though, that I didn't get the color straight up to the apple. We're going to just get a wet brush real quick. See if that'll do it. Nope. Okay, we're going to add just a little bit of this green here. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to go do these leaves over here. So let's grab some of this bright green. Okay, gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna add a little bit of chartreuse on top of that, and we're also gonna make sure that the stem stands out, but I did a little bit too much water, so sometimes using a dry brush can help absorb some of that. There we go. Okay, all right, let's go and do these flowers. We're gonna use that same green that we've been using on the other leaves. Ooh, did I get it? Got my hand in it. Let's try that again. My head's in the frame, I apologize. Okay, there's those leaves. The flowers, we'll do the same kind of color flowers that we did for the ones on the head. So let's grab, let's see, what did we mix for that? Oh, it was over here. This kind of yellowish color. I'm just grabbing what we mixed earlier for those flowers, okay? So let's do some yellow there, a little bit much water, but we'll let it dry and it'll be okay. Okay. Some yellow there. And we'll do some gold for the inside. Actually, no. We're going to use that yellow ochre for the inside. We're in the home stretch, people. We are in the home stretch. We are almost done. Okay. Oh, I set a poll going, didn't I? Hang on. She's almost there. How did the poll do? Okay, 76% for pencils. So yeah, we'll definitely do... Aw, thanks, Leanne. We'll definitely do pencils tomorrow, so I'll need to like flip through what I've got and go from there. Okay, I did say that I wanted to add some more shadow under her, so we're actually going to take that green and we're going to mix it with a little bit of black. So it's not just solely black, but it's a little bit like a hint of green. So now we're going to bring this up under, okay? A little bit of shadow there, just a hint there. And some here. Now we're going to clean our brush. Okay. Make sure it's nice and clean. Not too much water. And we're just going to smooth out that edge just a bit. We're going to take that lighter green that we were using. Okay, we're going to put it along here. And we're just going to kind of blend on the paper, which is risky when you're doing paper. This works a lot better when you're using actual watercolor paper. But this is going to be the last of the layers that we add on here, so just going to go very carefully here. Okay. Aw, thank you. Okay. There we go. Okay, yeah, I like that shadow. Aw, thank you. Let's see, not that one. I almost grabbed the one. We're going to grab our long one here. And let's see, we're going to grab that chartreuse. Okay. And we're going to put that on these leaves to help them stand out from the grass. Same with the apple and the flowers. Like I said, I like teeny tiny details. This probably could have taken me a lot less time if I wasn't so hyper fixated, but I get going on something and it's just like, yes. Thank you, Kelly. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of orange on the flowers like we did on the ones on her hair. It's a red orange, so that is what we're grabbing. Okay, so we're just going to do a little bit there to kind of keep everything in the same color scheme. That was still a little bit wet, but it's okay. I'm making it work. All right, so let's grab a little bit of the sienna brown. Thank you. Yeah, we are almost done with this one. Okay. Oh, I need to do the... Let's grab the... Let's see. No, not that one. Let's do... I could do gel pen, but I think I want to stick with the colors that we have. And I have this really light kind of green. So we're going to take, this is another pearl color. We're going to take this pearl color, we're going to put it here. And then we're going to take the pearl sage, and we're going to do it there. We're going to take a little bit of the chartreuse, a little bit more. Okay, so we've almost made kind of a pearl chartreuse. Okay, and we're going to start over here first. If my head is in the frame, I apologize. Okay, a little bit of water. Like I said, we're going for a pearl chartreuse because I wanted it to stand out as much as it can from the grass. It's not a ton, but you and I know it's there, right? Okay. Oh, a couple more highlights. No head frame here? Okay, sweet. Just a couple more highlights. We're going to grab that permanent white, that designer gouache permanent white. It's Winsor & Newton. Literally my most favorite thing to use for highlights now. Okay. And we're going to make sure we get a little bit of a highlight on our apples. Let's do just the tiniest bit of white with the gray. Okay. And we're gonna drop that on the cauldron here. Okay. Are we done? I kind of feel like she might. I'm not gonna do like a hard highlight on the cauldron because it usually doesn't have that. You know, it's cast iron, I assume. Okay, and then I can touch this up with some white paint later, but for the most part, you can't really see it. Okay, 3 hours, 42 minutes. It's probably closer to 3.5 hours, just because we chatted with some stuff. But what do we think? Of course. Whew. Well, if you guys are new here and you're curious, we're going to be streaming tomorrow and the next day and the next day because we are celebrating the release of this book. So this was today's. We won't be going 3.5 hours every day. In fact, during the school week, I have to be much more disciplined because I have, you know, things I need to go do with the kids. But the weekend, Steve is here and he's tending to them. Right? Just a little bit of a marathon. But she's very cute. I'm very happy with her. This is how I do gouache in the coloring books. Ta-da! All right, everyone. I'm going to head out. I'm hungry. Steve probably wants to make sure I'm still alive in here. Oh, nice, Marilyn. So, yeah, if you follow along or if you come up with a little dragon with yours, you know, message me, tag me in it, whatever. I'd love to know. This was our palette in the end. We didn't actually end up mixing too much because we're doing such small things. But the nice thing is this is just a pencil case. We can close the lid on it. It's all good. All right, everyone. I'm going to go eat something, maybe take a nap. We'll see. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. I promise I will try and get caught up with the squares, but as we've been streaming daily, it's a little bit difficult. But at the very least, this coming weekend, I'll get caught up on them. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. All right? Bye, everyone.